pissed. You know what? I'm pissed because
All right, y'all. Y'all ready to rock?
I'm just
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good evening, I should say. This is the regular city council meeting for November 3rd, 2025. The time is 6:12. Madam Clerk.
Good evening, Madam Chair and City Council Board members. I am prepared to do the roll call. Councilperson Priscilla Davis Panier provided notice that she would not be available to attend tonight's meeting. Councilperson Bruce Guyton.
Here.
Chair Pro Tem Kashamba Miller Anderson.
Present.
Councilperson Glenn Spiritus. Chairperson Shirley Lanier.
Here.
City Manager Jonathan Evans.
Present.
Acting City Clerk Deborah Hall is present. City Attorney Don Wynn.
Here.
Madam Chair, you have a quorum. You may proceed.
Thank you. We will have a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by our Dr. Glenn Spears.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any additions, deletions, or substitutions from the council or from staff?
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
I have a question to the city manager. I see we have about 5, 6 items related to Barracuda Bay. My question is, we know, I don't know if some of the public knows, that we have an agreement with the county, a 30-year agreement, and if we don't fulfill that agreement, we would have to pay them back 1.5 mil. Is that accurate?
Madam Chair, if I may,
Yes, go ahead.
that's one of the options that the county has put forth if we don't fulfill that obligation.
Okay. Have we gotten, I know you've had some discussions verbally. Have you gotten anything in writing from the county that weighs that 1.5 mil? And if you didn't, and if they choose to enforce it, how would we pay it?
Mr. Evans, hold that thought. Let me get to the item first, and then we'll go through the whole background with it, because I think there's more to it than just a simple answer. So I really want to go through the whole thing.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
please let the record reflect that Mayor Douglas Lawson was present at the beginning of roll call. I apologize, I did not call his name. Mayor Douglas Lawson. Present?
Here.
Thank you.
Chair,
Yes, sir.
I think we have an item on tonight for naming of the streets.
Yes, sir.
Honorary, can we move that up on the agenda? Because I believe there's some elders here.
I want to move it up.
Yeah, move it up, because we have some elders here tonight, and rather than have them sit through the whole meeting.
I support that too, Madam Chair. There are some elderly people I know that came for that item.
We can add that right after the consent agenda,
Okay.
Madam Clerk. Before we get into,
I think,
actually, added after the, added as 6B. Are there any other additions, deletions, or substitutions for this agenda? Are there any disclosures from this agenda for any staff or any council?
Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
I've met with some of the developers whose resolution we're going to be voting on tonight, so I just want to disclose that.
Okay.
Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
I've met with, well, I've had a discussion on the phone. I think we met once regarding the issue that's on the agenda tonight, between between 11th and 13th Street. I forget what the name of the project is.
Okay,
Madam Chair,
yes,
same thing, but I haven't talked to them, I think, since it came before the CRA side, though.
okay. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda with the changes?
So moved.
Second,
Madam Clerk?
Councilperson Guyton,
Yes.
Chair Pro Tem Miller Anderson,
yes.
Councilperson Spiritus,
Yes.
Chairperson Lanier,
Yes.
unanimous vote.
The consent agenda is our next item. All matters listed under this item are considered to be routine, and action will be taken by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a councilperson so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Are there any removals or discussions for the items that are on consent?
Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
I want to discuss 3A and 3B. I'd like to pull at least just 3A, not both of them, just 3A is fine.
Uh, You can request that, but a board member needs to request that, sir.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
I would like to pull that item, what is it, 3B?
3A.
3A.
3A, very good.
Is 3B?
3A or 3A and 3B or,
3A.
okay, very good. Any other items on the resolution, I'm sorry, on the consent agenda that want to be discussed? Hearing none. Madam Clerk?
Councilperson Guyton,
Yes.
Chair Pro Tem Miller Anderson,
Yes,
Councilperson Spiritus,
Yes.
Chairperson Lanier,
Yes,
unanimous vote.
thank you. We'll go right into 3A. Madam Clerk?
Madam Chair, we are on item 3A. I apologize.
6A.
Resolution number 123-25, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Riviera Beach, Palm Beach County, Florida, authorizing the use of the Sourcewell contract with Shaw Integrated and Turf Solutions under solicitation number 061323 for flooring materials with related supplies and services, authorizing the issuance of purchase orders and work authorizations on as-needed basis not to exceed an annual amount of $500,000, authorizing the use of Sourcewell Cooperative Contract number 061323 for the initial term ending August 9, 2027, including 3 one-year renewal options if exercised by Sourcewell, authorizing the chief financial officer to make payments from appropriate accounts, and providing for an effective date.
Can I get a motion to approve this?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Evans?
Madam Chair and members of the board, if I can have the Capital Projects Administrator as well as the Public Works Director to answer any questions the board may have pertaining this particular item.
Go ahead. Bailey?
Terrence Bailey, Capital Project Administrator. Bernard Baxentete, Public Works Director. Here to answer any questions you may have.
Madam Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Mr. Bailey or Director, would you be able to just give us a idea of how this item was procured?
Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
the one for the roof, our staff procurement team put out the solicitation for contractors. We had a pre-bid meeting. Several contractors showed up, and then we received bids for the item, which is to replace the roof.
3A.
3A
is
is
the
a
flooring.
Sourcewell contract.
Mhm.
The Sourcewell is a cooperative contract that is bid is a nationwide mechanism that we utilize to work on projects. So this was how we picked the vendor. He had a contract that provided the services we needed, so we utilized that.
Okay. And Madam Chair, I've asked to pull this item because the process of procuring items is something we talked about at our procurement conference. And we have Representative Ms. Stacy from our procurement department, where we talked about the items that need to go through and give a potential for local participation, small business participation. Where is this vendor located, Director?
The vendor is in South Florida, the one we're utilizing.
An
But
office in South Florida. Where's the main location?
the source work is from the Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
Yes.
Okay, so I like for us to really become intentional. That was part of the procurement conference, our entire staff. Madam Chair, I would ask that all of our items look to make sure we give opportunities, because we're piggybacking on this item, but I want to give local vendors, because I actually know 2 or 3 contractors and 2 or 3 flooring companies right here in Riviera Beach. So if we're going to be using somebody to do flooring, that can actually qualify for this item. Instead of piggybacking, we need to make sure that we're intentional about giving local businesses opportunities. A few of them actually have worked with the city before, and the fact that we sent this to a company from Minneapolis, it was kind of concerning for me. Being that we just had the conference, that we've given direction for staff to use locals and make sure, I'm okay with supporting the item, but I want to make sure the next item before they come back before the board, Madam Chair, represents local businesses, and they do everything possible to reflect that.
Very good. I
Ma'am?
agree.
Madam Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so, Director, $500,000 is a lot of money for carpet. Clearly, we all understand that the library needs new carpeting, but maybe the city manager can tell us where else you're going to be using that $500,000, because I'm sure it's not all for the library.
And if you can give also the exact amount, because it's not 500.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
With regards to the library space, I believe the total cost is about $83,000. The intent is to facilitate us being able to address some of the carpet squares that we have throughout city facilities. So this contract allows for us, if we needed to expand carpet areas at the library, or we needed to place new carpet in office spaces, it gives us not to exceed, but the actual monies that will be expended for the library specifically is $83,000.
Madam Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, well then that changes my approach, because if we're going to do a not to exceed approach with a company from Minneapolis for $500,000, I wouldn't recommend supporting this item. We need to find a new way to actually procure items locally, especially with available companies right here. Flooring companies are very easy to find, especially in Palm Beach County, Riviera Beach. And 83,000 I could have supported with initiatives, but I can't support 500,000, Madam Chair. So maybe if they want to change this to a lower amount, authorizing a short, go ahead, Madam Chair.
Yes, no, I agree. If we can get to 90K for this item, I will support it. Anything past 90K, I will not support.
Okay, Madam Chair?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
I make a motion that we amend the resolution to cap it at $90,000.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Councilperson Guyton,
Yes.
Chair Pro Tem Miller Anderson,
Madam Chair, don't we still have a motion on the floor from the original?
So he made an amendment to it.
Who was that?
And amended the motion to cap the amount of money from $500,000 to
For
$90,000.
second.
Right.
So I'm fine with keeping it.
Okay, very good. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Start over.
Councilperson Guyton,
Yes.
Chair Pro Tem Miller Anderson, Councilperson Spiritus, Chairperson Lanier.
Yes,
That's a unanimous vote.
thank you.
Madam Chair?
Excellent catch, Mayor.
Thank you. Madam Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you for that. Now, I want to address kind of the procurement conference as well at the end of the meeting, so I'll just reserve a few moments towards the end to talk about the conference and how we as a board can make sure we're intentional about these items to keep our money inside the city of Riviera Beach. So thank you for that, Madam Chair.
We can add that in the discussion item.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Very good.
Madam Chair, we are on item 6A, City of Riviera Beach Youth Council Monthly Update.
Vice Chair?
Thank you, Madam Chair. We wanted to be able to provide an update for the Youth Council. We know back on October 1st, we inducted our first group. And tonight, we just wanted to take a couple of minutes each. We have an officer, our president, is going to come up. We have 4 young ladies, I believe, that are going to come up to the table. They're going to just give you a little update as to some of the things that they've done for the past month. And when they come up, they'll say who they are and what their role is. Pull up 2 more chairs right quick. And just say who they are. And they're going to take about 1 minute per slide. And then if anyone else wants to just come up and briefly say what their experience has been so far, they're going to do that. All right. Who do we have here? Who's going first? What's your name and what's your position?
Hi, my name is Reina Caballero. I'm the vice president, and I will be talking about the orientation.
Okay, who's next? Who's the next person that's going to be speaking? Just introducing yourself right now.
Good evening. My name is Kaleria Williams, and I'm the treasurer of the Youth Council.
And you're going to talk
I
about?
will be speaking about our first meeting.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Ayana Melvin. I am the president of the Youth Council, and I'll be speaking about the mayor's breakfast that we attended.
Good evening. I'm Liana Garcia. I'm the secretary of the Youth Council, and I'll be speaking about our upcoming activities.
All right. Thank you. All right. I'm not controlling it, Mr. Walter is, so just say next when you want the PowerPoint to switch. Go ahead, Mr. Walter, next.
Good evening, everyone. On October 4th, our orientation was held, and my fellow council members and I had the wonderful opportunity to introduce ourselves and get to know one another. During this time, we also held elections for our leadership positions, including president, vice president, secretary, and other key roles on the board. In addition to the elections, we discussed the expectations and responsibilities that each member must uphold as a part of the Youth Council. It was a meaningful and productive meeting that set a strong foundation for our work together this year. Thank you. Next.
One more, Mr. Walter. Going forward. One more going forward. One more. All right.
Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Kaleria Williams, and I'm the treasurer. Today, I'm here to briefly share what was discussed at our first meeting. We had the opportunity to vote and finalize our roles within the council, and additionally, we separated into groups where we not only became more comfortable with working along with each other, but to also brainstorm new ways we can make a positive impact in our community from the youth perspective. Thank you.
Next, Mr. Walter.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to reintroduce myself. My name is Ayana Melvin, and I'm the president. So the Youth Council attended the mayor's breakfast, which was a great experience, not only because of the insightful conversation, but because it's given us a new perspective on what leadership really means. You can do the next one. It was inspiring to hear about what the leaders in other cities in Florida are doing for their cities. And most importantly, hearing about Mayor Lawson's plans to keep our city thriving. You can do the next one. Being in a room full of leaders reminds us that it's not just about the title or the position, it's about teamwork and willingness to work and learn from one another. We look forward to future opportunities to collaborate and represent our wonderful city, Riviera Beach. Thank you.
Next. Next. One more. Yep.
All right. Good evening. I'm Liana Garcia, the secretary for the Youth Council. I'm going to be talking to you all about our upcoming activities. This Saturday, we'll be attending the Florida Youth Council Summit in D-Land, where we'll have the opportunity to connect with our fellow youth leaders from across the state. Our police chief, Michael Coleman, has also invited us to create a public service announcement campaign against the use of THC vapes. We're eager to help spread awareness and encourage healthy habits among our peers.
Next.
Beyond that, we're in the midst of planning community cleanups, listening tours, holiday food and toy drives, and a youth expo, all while striving to bring home a Florida League of Cities Youth Council Excellence Award. We're proud to serve and make Riviera Beach proud. Thank you.
Thank you. And I did want to see if there were any other members that wanted to speak for 30 seconds and just talk about your experience. And if not, that is okay too. Anybody? All right. Thank you, ladies, so much. We appreciate you all giving that update.
Madam Chair? Thank you. One last thing for the Youth Council. The next event that they will be hosting is going to be the Youth Council Town Hall. It is going to be on the 12th of November this month, Saturday here at the Marina from 2 to 4. So that town hall is going to be with all the, sorry, November 15th. So November 15th is going to be here at the Marina. Tentative date is going to be here from 2 to 4, and it's going to be with all the students from the community. We're going to be talking about initiatives like anti-vaping, helmets and bike safety, and different initiatives that the students will be taking the lead on. So that'll be hosted by the Youth Council in the city of Riviera Beach. That's going to be November 15th here in the Marina, and we'll be putting out flyers shortly with the confirmed date and time. Thank you.
Thank you. That's it for that item? All right. We'll move into our next item that was moved from 12B to 6B. Madam Clerk?
Madam Chair, resolution number 13625-25, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Riviera Beach, Palm Beach County, Florida, authorizing the honorary street renaming for 13th Street, 9th Street, and Avenue S, providing an effective date and for other purposes. Madam Chair, we do have comment cards on this item. The acceptance of public comment cards on this item is now closed.
Mr. Evans?
Madam Chair, members of the board, if I could have the Director of Development Services, Mr. Clarence Sermons, to make this presentation.
Thank you, Mr.
Sermons.
Manager.
Yes, how are you, sir?
I'm well. Thank you, Madam Chair. Good evening, members of council, Honorable Mayor, Madam Attorney. We are here to present this item as requested by City Council at a previous meeting. There was a two-part request that was made. One was to evaluate 3 names that were provided for consideration for street renaming, and the second was to consider some comments that were provided related to the existing policy and potential changes to it. So we will provide a presentation related to that. Again, our review is based on what the current policy says for street renaming considerations and the information that was provided. And I will yield the floor to Assistant Director Scott Evans for the remainder of the presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Sermons. Mr. Mayor, Madam Chair, and City Council. On August 6th, the City Council proposed ceremonial street renamings as the following. Robert C. Felder for Avenue S, Bishop Thomas Masters for Avenue I, and Devin Hester for 13th Street. And I do apologize, the agenda does reference 9th Street, but it has been corrected on the screen above to Bishop Thomas Masters for Avenue I. The name changes are ceremonial only. The existing street names would remain. The city standard for this process is to provide a new larger sign with the ceremonial name at the top and the existing street name at the bottom. And on the screen above, I've shown an example of one of the ceremonial street names we have, which is at the West 34th Street. And it shows the new ceremonial name with the existing street name, which remains unchanged underneath. Street name changes have 3 criteria for consideration, and they must meet 2 of those criteria. The first criteria is the individual has achieved prominence as a result of his or her significant contributions to the United States of America and or the local community. The second and third are as follows. The individual has been deceased for a period of no less than 5 years, or the City Council determines that the street should be renamed in honor of a living person because exceptional circumstances exist. Although Mr. Robert Felder passed away on November 21st, 2021, it is less than 5 years, and the other nominations are not deceased.
Nope.
The council needs to make a determination of exceptional circumstances to meet this criteria if you elect to proceed. The proposed signage changes would be installed by the City Public Works Department. Preliminary estimate for the cost is approximately $28,000 to $29,000. Prior to installation, the changes would be reviewed by the Public Safety and Emergency 911 departments to ensure there are no operational or addressing impacts. There are some additional policy considerations that the City Council asked staff to consider and bring forth. One of them is the naming of streets after organizations. Upon reviewing in detail the street naming policy, it's silent on the opportunity to name organizations. So if the City Council elected to make future changes, they could add organizations to the existing policy. Another area is timing and number of City Council nominations. At the previous meeting, the council discussed providing limits to the nominations. A potential policy change could be to provide that the mayor and all City Council members could make one nomination per elected term. This, of course, would be a change to the street renaming policy. And finally, another policy consideration staff wanted to make is for new civic monuments. A new civic monument could be developed for City Hall that allows the mayor and City Council members to recognize individuals or organizations from the community for inclusion on the monument. An applicant, for example, who would not be selected for a street name change could still be added to the new monument, along with adding other individuals who the council would like to recognize. And we just provided some examples of an alternate monument naming recognition that the council might consider in the future. That concludes my presentation, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Evans, Assistant Director Evans, can you make that sign a little bit bigger? You have the name of the person being honored below, or the actual street name, or above it?
I would actually have to refer to the Public Works Director. I think that there's plenty of options if the council decided they wanted to change the standard. When the item came up, we went out and found obviously some existing street signs and conferred with the Public Works Director. So we proposed it as it currently is. I would have to defer to him if you wanted to change to a different type in the future.
But, Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
So I just want to know, what is the existing signs right now? I can't see the name here, it's too dark. So is the honoree's name above or below the actual street name?
Madam Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
I apologize. Yes, it says Reverend Leroy Parrish Street, and it's above, and then below it says West 34th Street. And of course, this is just an example of an existing sign that's already posted.
Okay, Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
So there's no conflict with the police department or the fire department's GIS and responding to calls? They'll still see the street name in there?
Yes, we would be
everything
following
will
the
work
same
correctly.
policy that we've done for other street name changes. However, for each one, we would submit it to those departments, including 911, to make sure that they're aware of it and they don't have any objections.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
at some point in our process, I think it kind of went overboard, and I think it turned political. And as you see now, there are a lot of pastors' names on different signs around the city who have done a lot of work in our community. But I wonder if that is the process that we want to continue. There are standards that were outlined, but it has a little catch-22 where the council can vote that they've been exceptional in some way. I actually think that we well, let me put it like this. I would like to revisit all of the signs that, of the streets that have been named and, maybe determine some to be temporary and some to be permanent because everywhere we look now, they're the naming of the street. There are people who are deserving of naming of streets, but sometimes it takes the significance out of it if everywhere you see there's a name on the street, there's a name on the street. We have a lot of good people in our community. I'm not disparaging anybody, but for it to have a full value, I think we need to either heighten the requirements or go to a temporary mode for some. But I think that we can have that discussion on another night. But I do think that we need to revisit how we do this and how it was done in the past.
Councilperson, I certainly agree with that. We did not get any backup. I got like one line of the process of which each of these people that were put up for did. I don't know what else they did. For tonight, I'm not moving forward with anyone but Reverend Robert C. Felder for Avenue S. The other two would have to come back. I have no background on it. And then we got 13th Street for Devin Hester. I had a neighbor, Liz Wade, who was a council person for 12 years in this city. So we didn't have an opportunity to vet this. It just came to the council in the form that it is. We don't have any background. We have nothing with these two streets or names or individuals. When I went to the state to be able to get a designation for the street for Barack Obama and MLK, because it is a crossroad that only has two other streets in the country that way, state of Florida said that the individuals had to be dead 50 years to even get a state designation. And I think it's about 40 years or so for the county. I think that we're the only city that continues to go through this process, and I think it is very political. And the way that it is, the way that it stands, it is just not fair to other people who are just as willing to be here. So if we're going to do anything tonight, I'll move forward with Felder, but I will not move forward with the other two. Or we can bring it back because we need to look at how this is actually done. Because even there's the PowerPoint that showed 3 separate ways in which these people are chosen, it is very flimsy. And I think that there are a lot of people who are deserving of these streets. But I think that we need to get to a point where we had this discussion 2-3 years ago and we put a moratorium on it for a reason.
Chair.
So I think that for my input, that no. Yes, go ahead.
And I do agree, Madam Chair, and I also agree with moving forward with Mr. Felder, who started a rehabilitation center in our community where it was most needed back in 1992. And it's still going to this day. I know people who've been through the program. In any program, you have those that are serious about it and are successful, and you have a few that probably not ready and didn't benefit as much because of their own inner demons. But I do think that we need to address this. I would like to say that I don't know if anybody else who have been inducted into the Hall of Fame, like Devin Hester here in Riviera Beach. So, but I have a statement from the family, and
I think that, I'm sorry to cut you,
That's
council
all right.
person. I say that, not that I don't want Devin Hester. It's just that 13th Street,
I understand.
we can debate who would be good for that street.
I understand. I understand.
But yeah, and plus, like I said before, there was not any background that was given to us about these individuals, none, but one or two lines. And I think that that does the individual a disservice. So go ahead, councilperson.
I just want to put I want to put a statement on the record from the family, and it reads as such. We are here tonight to ask for your support in renaming Avenue S in honor of a man who gave his life to helping others, the late Robert C. Felder, founder of J Outreach Ministries. If you ever met Robert Felder, you know he didn't talk about change, he lived it. He didn't wait on a program or a politician to fix things. He saw people hurting, struggling, trying to get back on their feet, and he opened his doors and his heart. Through J Outreach Ministries, he gave men a place to start over who had lost hope, who the world had counted out. He believed that no one was too far gone to turn their life around, and he proved it every single day. Robert didn't build big buildings or chase the spotlight. What he built was people. He built fathers, brothers, sons, and neighbors. He built men who went back into the community stronger, wiser, and ready to make a difference. That's the kind of legacy that doesn't fade. 4 years have passed, plus I think next month will be 5, have passed since he left us. But his work and his spirit are still alive in Riviera Beach. Every time someone walks through the doors of J Outreach Ministry, every time a man chooses a better path because of seeds Robert planted, that's his legacy at work. Renaming Avenue S to Robert C. Felder Avenue isn't just about putting up a new sign. It's about reminding everyone who passes through the street of what service really looks like. It's about honoring a man who gave more than he ever asked for. So I'm asking this council and this community to stand with the family tonight in saying thank you to a man who made a difference. Let's make sure his name and his mission live on right here where it all began. Thank you.
Councilperson, would you like to make a motion for Robert C. Felder for S Avenue?
I do.
Madam Chair?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Before we make a motion, do we want to take public comment? Because I do want to hear from the public, and personally, I support all three of these men strongly, but I want to hear from the public before we make a motion and allow for them to opine, and then go forward with some action.
I understand that. Under discussion and deliberation, are there any public comment? Mr. Evans?
Madam Chair,
Yes,
if there's any action that's contemplated by the board, it requires.
gotcha. All right, let's move to public comment. Madam Clerk, how many cards do we have?
Madam Chair, we have 4 public comment cards. The first speaker is William Washington.
Close public comment, please.
I'm sorry?
Could you close it? You read
Yes,
this? Okay.
it's closed. The acceptance of cards is now closed. William Washington, James Howard, Spain Lozman, and Reverend Ingraham. William Washington.
Good evening, members of the mayor, members of the council, community representative. My name is William Washington. I'm a former pastor at Friendship Church in West Palm. So I stand before you tonight to speak in support of honoring Bishop Thomas Masters by naming the street in his honor. When a city names a street, it makes a statement about what it values. Each time a resident drives down that road, it becomes a reminder of service, faith, and perseverance. Naming the street after Bishop Thomas Masters says to future generations, Riviera Beach remembers those who gave their lives to lifting others. Now, I understand that there have been decades of old allegations from the 90s. Let me respectfully and clearly say those allegations were thoroughly investigated and proven false. There's no basis in truth and the record of the past 38 years speaks louder than any false claims. To allow an unfounded story to overshadow a lifetime of genuine service would not only be unfair to Bishop Masters, but to the truth and to the thousands who benefited from his leadership. Greatness is not measured by perfection. It's measured by persistence, faithfulness, and the good we do for others. Bishop Masters' record is clear. He has uplifted families. He's guided youth. He's worked tireless in the community. He's never stopped believing in the people of Rivera Beach, even when times were hard. Some have said that the Bishop Master does things to draw attention. But if we look at Scripture, we see that many of God's prophets use bold and dramatic acts to wake people up. Isaiah walked barefoot through the streets. Jeremiah wore a yoke around his neck. Ezekiel lay on his side for over a year to warn the nation. Hosea married a woman whose story shocked everyone, not for show, but for meaning. Their acts were not about ego, they were about impact. Likewise, Bishop Masters' boldness has often been his way of calling the community to awareness, to think, to feel, and to change. In times when too many voices are silent, sometimes it takes a man unafraid of being noticed to make people notice what truly matters: life, faith, and justice. Thank you very much.
The next speaker is James Howard, followed by Fane Lozman and Reverend Ingraham.
Good evening, Council, Mayor. I'd just like to take the opportunity to thank the Council for your marvelous work that you have done so far. Even though I have sat back and watched you all work, but I want to here to tell you tonight that you have done a great job for our city, and I want you to keep on doing that work to uplift our people from wherever the situation might be. I heard some statements about people making decisions on not looking at the person's character. And I'm here to talk about character and merit. And when you start to dialogue with people, a lot of us, people know us from a distance. They don't know our character. And they don't know the merit in which we try to come and do something in our city. Bishop Masters has always been a front runner in regards to whatever the situation might be, whatever this city might need. I have found that man to be a man of great character. And I have watched character assassinations happen simply because you don't know him. And that is wrong. We have to stop it ourselves, because just because you don't know me don't make me a bad person. And if my merit speaks for me, then that's all we should look for. Because a lot of us get elected and the people really never know us. They get to know what we reflect, but not who we are. And if we was to sit down and analyze ourselves, I use the scripture of the Bible. It says, when they brought this woman to Jesus, and they said, she's this and she's that. And they declared what they thought they knew. But Jesus said it like this: he or she, without sin, let them cast the first stone. So in behalf of Reverend Masters and those of you in the council, please be careful, because you have to understand, we vote for people not because we know them, we vote for them because we look at their character and the merit they display. So I thank the council again for allowing us this opportunity to be able to come out and say something. I heard about Reverend Felder, a great man, Devin Hester, great young man. Watch him grow up in the city, and many of others. And we have a lot of young people. When I saw those young ladies come up, I was so proud because our young people have something to offer too, but sometimes they get pushed back. So I ask this
Thank you, sir.
council to take
Thank-
consideration.
Thank you so much for your comments.
The next speaker is Fane Lozman, followed by Reverend Ingraham.
Good evening, Fane Lozman, Singer Island. I heard great things about Mr. Felder Sr. I think he's a great individual. Wish I had a chance to meet him. Mayor Masters, beside the Saggy Pants ordinance, the reason we're sitting in this facility right now is Mayor Masters fought turning this into an industrial boatyard. So Emma Bates, Mayor Master, myself, there was a group of us, Andrew Bird. So certainly the only issue I have is the road that's coming into this facility. I'll get that into a minute. And Devin Hester, everybody knows him, NFL Hall of Famer. I have an issue with the entranceway to the marina being named after Devin Hester. It may be more appropriate to name the street by Suncoast where we played football, but the road coming in here, I believe, should be named for Charles Newcomb. Charles Newcomb donated this property in perpetuity for the public in Riviera Beach to have marina facilities. So he should either be the man that this road is from Broadway into the marina, or people that fought to keep this marina. You know, Mayor Masters, he fought the battle to keep this turning into a boatyard. Maybe his name should be on it. Maybe Governor Jeb Bush. Jeb Bush fought the battle with me back in, 2006 to stop the Viking redevelopment where they were going to take the marina and 2,200 homes to give to Viking yachts. So we killed that with Florida's anti-eminent domain bill. Viking had signed the agreement the day before Governor Bush signed the anti-eminent domain bill. And they said, we beat you by a day. And Michael Brown said, the 2,200 homes, poor people shouldn't live by the marina. I fought it. Pacific Legal Foundation fought it. Institute for Justice fought it. Ultimately, we won. We had this beautiful facility that all the public can use instead of this being a mega yacht marina and the 2,200 homes, those people, Mayor Brown said, can move to Pahokee. But I think what we should do is for the section from Broadway that comes into this facility should be named after somebody that contributed to making this into the facility it is today. And I would like Mr. Hester either to take 13th Street West or go by the school that he became a football star at. Thank you.
Last speaker is Reverend Ingraham.
Good evening to the mayor, to the council, to the great citizens of Riviera Beach. Matthew 5:16 says, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. And also Matthew 6:33 says, but seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. My name is Reverend Ingraham. On behalf of myself and First Lady Akilah Ingraham, we share serving as the leadership for Allen Temple AME Church at 832 Avenue I in the great city of Riviera Beach. Allen Temple has been in existence for over 100 years. And when I think about all that it has experienced and seen, I can think of no better person more worthy for Avenue I to be renamed after than Bishop Masters. In his over 40 years of ministry and over 12 years in public service, Bishop Masters, his light has shone brightly for Christ, for all of humanity, and he's worked diligently for all good things to happen for the people of Riviera Beach. He is a man of integrity. He is a man of innovation, and he is a man of inspiration. As an integrity, he has worked with those who did not want to champion justice, but instead did things against it. And he said, not on my watch. As a man of innovation, you heard tonight the things that have been said about him being able to think differently to get this facility, to bring funds into our community for the betterment of all. He doesn't care what the naysayers say. And as a man of inspiration, he has walked the streets. I've walked the streets with him. He has provided food. He's provided nourishment. He's provided spiritual counseling and money and finances for the people of Riviera Beach and the people of the world. Reverend Masters has traveled to over 37 different countries and preached the gospel, holding the banner of Riviera Beach in his heart. And he's been a conduit to make a difference in places, in people, and in things that often do not matter. And personally, for this preacher, being the first of his kind to pastor at Allen Temple, he said yes when others have said no. And we work together to improve the lives of our community for those people that need it the most. So today it's not about personality, it's not about position, it's not about politics, but it's about God's plan. And I stand today with innovation, integration, and integrity to say, please, if you may, let it be Bishop Masters Day for Avenue I. May God bless you and may he keep you is our prayer.
Madam Chair, that's the end of public comment.
Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
I'm ready to put a motion on the floor
There is
for
a motion and a second on the floor for
Robert
Robert C. Felder for Avenue S. Madam Clerk?
Chair?
Yes, sir.
Before you vote, I asked to speak before you had.
I'm
public
sorry, go
comment.
ahead.
Okay, I just want to mention the fact that Mr. Felder certainly did a great job in the city of Riviera Beach with Jay's ministry. His son is doing a great job and his family are doing a great job in following through. I'm very proud of the family and everything you do for Riviera Beach, and I certainly support the name. I wish there was something more we could do. As you know, I will do everything I can to help your ministry. I think you do great work there, and we need more organizations similar to that in our city because you're really not large enough to do everything that we need here in the city. With reference to Bishop Masters, and I know you said that you think that this is political. Reverend Masters actually worked against me in the last two campaigns that I had. But I respect Reverend Masters. Bishop Masters has done so much for this community, not only as a reverend, a man of God, but also as our mayor. He's brought many good things to this community. He's spoken on behalf of this community. I'm one person who doesn't believe that you have to die before a community honors you. I think it's better that the community honors you while you're around to see it and can appreciate it. So I think that we should keep Reverend Masters. I know that you've already made a motion, so I would have to make a second motion afterwards for Reverend Masters, Bishop Masters, excuse me. But I think that he's well deserving, and it would be a good thing for the community to do this, not just for our community, but for Bishop Masters himself, because he has given his life to this community. We all know that. Whether we agree with him or disagree with him, he has done that for our community. With respect to Devin Hester, I mean, I don't know a lot about Devin Hester other than I know that everyone in the community knows Devin Hester. Anytime I go anywhere, his name comes up in a very positive manner. And I would like to learn more about him, but I can tell you that he's certainly respected, well respected in the community. So I have no problem going with all three names, and if we have to do this as individual motions, I will make a motion after we vote on this resolution.
Madam Chair?
Yes. No, I did not say that
Madam
it
Chair?
was, I did not say that it was political. I said it can become political. My, not wanting to put Reverend Masters forward is not that. It is other things that have happened. 1998, I won't go into the details of the allegations. I won't do that. but that is something that I will not get past. So we got a motion on the floor.
Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead, sir.
and I'm just going to opine on the motion that's on the floor for Robert Bob Felder, and just say thank you, board, for honoring a great man. I support this wholeheartedly, and I'm excited to see this passed. I'm hopeful that my colleagues will make a motion for the other two individuals to move it forward. I understand we want to take them individually, which also respectfully will give each one of them their own item resolution to honor them and honor the greatness that they've done. But since we're going to talk about this item that's on the floor, I will only address this one, and hopefully when my colleagues will put on the floor the motion to move forward with the other ones.
Madam Clerk?
Madam Chair, may I have the name of the person who gave the second to the motion?
I'm sorry,
For Robert Felder?
who seconded the motion?
I'll second.
I second it for it's Robert C. Felder.
Yes.
Felder,
Yes.
okay. Councilperson Guyton?
Yes.
Chair Pro Tem Miller Anderson?
Yes.
Councilperson Spiritus?
I'm proud to vote yes.
Chairperson Lanier?
Yes,
That's a unanimous vote.
thank you. Is that it for this item?
Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead,
I would
sir.
like to make a motion that we honor Bishop Thomas Masters with a street naming on Avenue I.
Second.
Motion's been seconded. Any discussion? I'd like to put forth why that I'm not voting for this. And I don't want to get into, hold on. I have the right to vote my conscience. I have the right to vote the way I feel as if this city could be represented. That is my right. And a $2.2 million civil court jury, listen, if I want to get into it, I will, but I am not going to, in good conscience, do that. So if you want to go any further, I will, but for the sake of time, we can move this on. Madam Clerk?
Councilperson Guyton?
No.
Chair Pro Tem Miller Anderson?
Yes.
Councilperson Spiritus?
Yes.
Chair Lanier?
No.
Item fails with a dissenting vote by Chairperson Lanier. City Councilperson Guyton, the vote split, so it fails.
Any other items for this
Yes.
agenda? Yes, sir.
For Devin Hester, and I do think that Mr. Lozman made a good point about naming somebody from east of Broadway that had a lot to do with this property here. So I'm not sure if we want to keep it on 13th Street.
Well, I think that we should bring it back with that. I think that if that is the way we want to go as a board, I don't see any problem with that, that we should bring it back. Mr. Hester could be here and we can really do it like it's supposed to be done.
Okay, or I'm ready to vote and we can have a ceremony when he come. However you want to do
Now,
it.
we're looking at cutting the street up from, yeah, so it has to be something that the Public Works, and they have to get that straight.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Chair?
Yes, sir.
I concur with Councilman Guyton. I think Mr. Lozman did bring up a very good point, and we should definitely move in this direction.
I definitely agree. I want to make sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed in regards to splitting that road up. Very good. Thank you. Madam Clerk, next item.
Madam Chair, we are on item 8A, which is ordinances on second and final reading. Ordinance number 4291, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Riviera Beach, Palm Beach County, Florida, amending the City Code of Ordinances, Chapter 31, on behalf of Iqua Holdings, LLC, approving a rezoning amendment application to rezone a plus or minus 4.28 acre parcel generally located at 1117 Broadway between West 11th Street and West 12th Street from,
I'm sorry, Madam Clerk, could we take a 5-minute recess? We have people that are leaving. I want to make sure that this item gets the attention that it
Okay.
needs. We'll take a 5-minute recess. before we start, please? 2 minutes. We will call this meeting to order. Madam Clerk, we go to the next item, please.
Madam Chair, we are on ordinance number 4291, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Riviera Beach, Palm Beach County, Florida, amending the City Code of Ordinances, Chapter 31, on behalf of Aqua Holdings LLC, approving a rezoning amendment application to rezone a plus or minus 4.28 acre parcel generally located at 1117 Broadway between West 11th Street and West 12th Street from a downtown core district to an inlet harbor center planned unit development zoning district, providing for applicability, conflicts, severability, and codification, and providing for an effective date and for other purposes. Madam Chair, we do have public comment cards on this item. The acceptance of the cards is now closed.
So moved. Second. Mr. Evans?
Madam Chair, members of the board, if I could have the Director of Development Services, Mr. Sermons, to make this presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Madam Chair, members of council, Honorable Mayor, Madam Attorney, this item before you now is the second reading of the zone change ordinance submitted by Aqua Holdings related to the South Broadway condominiums project. There have been no changes since first reading. However, staff is here and prepared to present or answer any questions that the board may have before taking a vote. The applicant is also present for this item.
Thank you. Can we have public comment, please, Madam Clerk?
Madam Chair, we have 3 public comment cards on this item. The first speaker will be Fane Losman, followed by Rochelle Hughes and Annette Dragon. Okay, Mr. Losman has passed. The next speaker will be Rochelle Hughes.
Good evening, Rochelle Hughes, Riviera Beach. On this item, so it's going to be built right over here. Along with, we have Marina number 8 and Marina number 7. And I guess I have to ask, how many traffic studies has the city done so far in regards to these 3 buildings going in, other stuff going in along Broadway, and Oculina going in at the north end of Broadway. There's a lot of traffic going on now. And unless you guys are planning on widening US 1, which I don't think you can, there's going to be even more traffic because you're going to have 508 units, 149 units, and 418 units. So that's my one question. And then I do have an issue regarding these exceptions so that there can be taller buildings made. I don't think we need 20-story plus condos. Here's the thing, what I've heard all the times I come here is we needed more workforce, affordable housing for the residents and the staff that work here in the city because they can't afford what's here already. And I know we're gonna have 149 units here in Marina number 8. That's only 149 units. How many people live in this city that need affordable housing? There's a lot. And so I don't see us concentrating on that affordable workforce housing. I see us concentrating more on the market cost units, like Marina Village number 7, which will be 418 market value units. And this one right here, 508 units. And this one that we're talking about now is going to be 2 20-story buildings and 2 13-story buildings right across the street. And Marina Village number 7 is going to be 20-story too. Like, I'm trying to envision it, but I just don't see how that stories, all I can think of is Fort Lauderdale and Miami and the chaos that goes on down there. And for anyone who says they love to go to Miami and Fort Lauderdale, I have to ask you, if you like it so much, how come you don't live down there? So, and then there's a lot of things about 10,000 square feet of commercial use here in 6,350. What restaurants, what shops, the rents, are the rents going to be subsidized so that these places can come in? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Annette Dragon.
Hello, everyone. Annette Dragon. All these ordinances for rezoning, for development and new properties, and as Rochelle said, affordable housing for the residents and particularly the first responders in Riviera Beach and the teachers and the people who actually look after us in the community. What I would like to know is what's being talked about in terms of support and infrastructure. There's very little being said about parking for all these wonderful new residential units that we're going to be seeing going up if the rezoning occurs, if you vote for it. How much more strain are we going to be putting on the infrastructure within Riviera Beach? We're already pushed to the limit. There are not enough first responders. There are not enough teachers. There are not enough places in the schools for people. What are we doing about it? Please give us some guidance on this.
Madam Chair, that's the end of public speakers on this item.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the board in regards to this item? Hearing none. Madam Clerk?
Councilperson Guyton,
Yes.
Chair Pro Tem Miller Anderson,
Yes.
Councilperson Spiritus,
Yes.
Chairperson Lanier.
Yes.
That's a unanimous vote.
Next item?
The next item is ordinance 4286, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Riviera Beach, Palm Beach County, Florida, fixing the adjusted tax valuation of real property located within the corporate limits of the city, levying a tax on real property and tangible business, personal property located within the corporate limits of the city for the fiscal year beginning on October 1st, 2025, and ending on September 30th, 2026, fixing the millage rate of 8.3500 mils. Thereon for said year that the millage rate of 8.3500 is 6.53% higher than the rollback rate of 7.8381, providing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. Madam Chair, we have one public comment card on this item. The acceptance of the cards is closed.
Madam Chair, Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
before you take a motion, this is probably going to be a discussed item, and it's 7:30, so I was going to see if maybe you want to take public comment first. I know there's going to be some discussion about this one.
Right, we're gonna get through this item, then we go to public comment.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair.
So
Second. Mr. Sherman.
Good evening. Randy Sherman, Chief Financial Officer. Actually, items 8B and 8C, ordinances 4286, which is 8B, the item that we're on, is the exact budget ordinance that you adopted on September 17th. The ordinance was required to come back for a second reading. We were informed by the state that the publication that was placed in the paper had an error in it. So we are rectifying that situation by bringing this item back for the board to vote on a second time. Let me kind of explain what happens. The statutes are very clear on how the budget must be presented for the second and final reading. The documents that were provided to the Palm Beach Post were correct. When the Palm Beach Post prepared the notification, there was an error in that. And when it was sent back to staff to proof, staff did not catch the error. So the state caught the error. The state has informed us that we need to bring this item back for a second vote. And that's why we're here this evening.
So we're bringing this back because of the Scribner's error.
Correct.
Public comment, please.
Madam Chair, we have one public comment card, Fane Lozman. Andrea.
Fane Lozman, Singer Island. There's something called the law of unintended consequences. And I'm going to explain why in a moment. When you look at this item, it talks about the corporate limits of the city. Corporate limits of the city were outlined back in the 1920s, and they were confirmed when the state of Florida in 1963 came out with their own map. The state of Florida came out with a map showing where the corporate limits are on North Singer Island in 1963. Right now, based on the conduct of Mr. Spiritus, the city attorney, and the city manager, they have unilaterally changed the corporate limits, taking away, they usurped the authority of the 5 final policymakers to change the corporate limits as a legal body. Okay? So the city of Riviera Beach has shrunk a little bit on the north side of Singer Island. So we're doing a budget for something that we think has been the corporate limit since the city was incorporated up until a couple years ago when they did a new survey to try to move a section corner that in essence shrunk the city. I have all the backup to show what that is, but the city is using the new map, let's say for Singer Island, they're using that for providing police services, for doing other things, but yet this budget is using the old corporate city limits that the state and county and this own council in Ordinance 805 has ratified. So there's 2 different corporate city limits. Something has to be done with that. I think this council should say until we get a legal change that we're going to abide by Ordinance 805 from the 1960 that a predecessor council did. We're going to abide by what the state of Florida said in the 1963 map. We're going to abide by the county. But if we abide by what the corporate limits are now, the boundaries of the city have changed, and that will impact the budget. And because some properties will be sliced off and you won't get the full property value off of those properties. So, I mean, it's a nasty thing. It came up I've talked about it before. We have two different corporate limits. We need to get that clarified sooner rather than later.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, that's the end of public comment on this item.
Any other questions from the board in regards to this item?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Mr. Evans, the Department of Revenue had to catch this. We make mistakes in life. And some mistakes are understandable. For me, I don't understand how we, as a government entity, did not go back and check to see if the publication was correct. Some don't know, but this risks some of our ad valorem taxes that we could have lost. They gave us 15 days from the date of this letter. We submitted it on the 30th. This was the 16th. We was right at the deadline. I have not seen the advertisement from the 30th. That was just Friday. One, I want to see that advertisement. And two, I want to know why, we have over 400 employees, why somebody did not go and check the publication. That's a question, Mr. Evans.
That question for the finance director or the city manager?
Both.
Very good. Mr.
Both
Sherman?
of them make a lot of money.
Mr. Sherman, you want to speak to that?
Sure.
Go ahead.
If you recall, I wasn't allowed anywhere near the city when that publication.
Stop.
No. Excuse me, Madam Chair.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Madam Chair,
Hold on a second, Mr.
the original publication was on September 14th. And the only person who goes and gets that publication and picks it up and chews that paper is me. And I was not allowed anywhere near the city on September 14th.
Okay, Mr. Evans.
October 30th, which was, October 31st, I'm sorry,
okay, we
which was the
understand, Mr.
second
Sherman.
publication. I have the second publication.
You sound disrespectful.
All right, very good.
Okay.
Hold on a second, Mr. Councilperson. Mr. Evans, you want to speak to that as well?
Yes, Madam Chair. When the publication was sent, staff did provide what is the correct publication to the Palm Beach Post. When they did provide for the proof for staff to check, they didn't know that they actually transposed the data. So when the proof was sent over, they created another column and staff did not catch that. And so that was an error that occurred, and the state provided us an opportunity to cure. And I believe the notice that was provided for was it's 30 days from when the notice is actually FedExed and received. And I believe the notice that we got, the one that was included in the packet, was actually the email correspondence to them. So there was some additional time as it relates to the receipt from the state.
Hold on a second. Has this ever happened before?
Madam Chair, if I may?
Yes, go ahead.
No, this has
No.
never happened before.
All right, go ahead, Councilperson.
Madam Chair, my point is checks and balances. We have one person checking. We have, I don't know how many employees in finance. This is not rocket science. They just looking at the numbers to verify that they're accurate. Mr. Sherman is saying he's the only one that can do that. If that's the case, we got a problem. Checks and balances, like more than one person to check the data. I've been in government since 1988, 98, 2008, 2018, 7 years, 37 years. Never heard of this. Never. They have more than one person doing the job. We pay y'all a lot of money to make decisions to ensure that we don't get embarrassed. This is embarrassing to me because I've been in government for almost 40 years. This is embarrassing. How we don't go and check after we submit a publication. I'm not understanding that. And y'all dismissing it as if it's insignificant. No, it's not. It's embarrassing and it can cost these taxpayers money.
Madam Chair,
Thank you, sir. Go ahead.
just wanted to know, going forward, how are we going to make sure that this doesn't happen again?
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
In this case, both the assistant finance director and the finance director are the ones that review that particular item. So that's something that we've always had the checks and balances in place to be able to resolve this particular issue. And in fact, this is not an uncommon situation where the state does provide situations where other cities, whether it's a deficient public notice or other issues, that's why the state gives you an opportunity to cure that. But this is the first time that we have ever experienced that.
Right, yeah, I know it's not happened in my 10 years that I've been here, so as long as we have a way to be able to rectify this and make sure it doesn't happen again, I don't know that we want to continue to sit here and beat a dead horse.
Thank you very much. Any other questions in regards to this item?
Yeah,
Go ahead, sir.
there was some reclassifications done in the operation budget. And there were senior office assistants made assistants to the director. Are you familiar with that, Mr. Evans?
Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
if I may, the item before you is the ordinance 4286. The specific item is an item that is coming back later on in the agenda for reclassification. So that's part of the reclass items that are coming
Is it
forward.
part of the operating budget?
It is part of the operating budget
Okay.
that's provided for, but you're right now discussing the millage rate.
Yeah. Ready to approve the operating budget, right?
Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
that's ordinance 4287, the next item.
Yeah, Mr. Sherman said he was gonna take both of them at the same time.
No, we can't do that. We can't take both
Okay,
at the
I
same
know
time.
he mentioned that. I don't know about.
Yeah, we can't. These are for our budget. We can't. They gotta be one at a
Okay.
time.
But it's part of the operation budget, and if the reclass is part of the operating budget, the reclass should be in front of the operating budget, so when it's approved, it's already in the budget. So I'm not understanding the sequence here.
Madam Chair, if I may,
Yes, go ahead.
you have to adopt what is the millage rate first because that is
I
the
understand the
fiscal.
millage. No, I'm talking about the operating budget. I understand the millage is separate. I understand that. I'm talking about the operating budget where we approve the reclass and all of the items that are associated with operating this city, which includes the reclass.
Madam Chair, if I may,
Yes, go ahead.
and yes, that's the next item. The operating, what is the operating budget?
I think you're missing my point, but that's okay.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Councilperson Guyton,
Yes.
Chair Pro Tem Miller Anderson,
Yes.
Councilperson Spiritus,
Yes.
Chairperson Lanier,
Yes.
that's a unanimous vote.
Okay, we will move to, public comment. I don't have my, where's the, public comment? Yeah. I don't have it, the one that you read before the public comment starts. That's okay, I'll use this one. Public comment shall begin at 7:30 PM unless there is no further business of the city council, which in that event, it shall begin sooner. In addition, if an item is being considered at 7:30, then comments from the public shall begin immediately after the item has been concluded. Please be reminded that the city council board has adopted rules of decorum governing public conduct during official meetings, which has been posted right here in the front. In an effort to preserve order, if any of the rules are not adhered to, the city council chairperson may have any disruptive speaker or attendee removed from the podium from the meeting and/or the building if necessary. Please govern yourselves accordingly. Madam Clerk, how many public comments do we have?
Madam Chair, we have 9 public comment cards. Acceptance of the cards is closed. The first speaker will be Yolandi Anderson, followed by D. Woods and Fane Lozman.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Mayor and the Council of Riviera Beach, and to everyone who's in the room. I'm standing here as a resident of the United States, Florida in particular, and Riviera Beach, but I'm also a Jamaican. And as many of you know, Jamaica has been devastated by one of the worst hurricanes to hit the entire Caribbean. And there are other families here with me this evening. I wanted to come and say thank you to the city of Riviera Beach for its empathy and compassion extended towards the Jamaican community, both here in South Florida and back home in Jamaica, for considering extending any assistance possible to our family members. And I, in particular, along with another family, I want them to stand in the back, the Townsend family, who are actually directly affected by the hurricane. So you are seeing the faces of people who have not been able to see their family members or hear from them, and are still trying to figure out how we're going to help them to rebuild from complete devastation. Homes have been completely flattened. There is absolutely nothing left. And right now, we ourselves are trying to gather tents and sleeping bags to send home. So we wanted to thank you for your prayers and the compassion that you're extending, and ask that you consider as well working directly with the families that are affected. If you intend to help us in any way, it would be great if you all could find it in your heart to mobilize a team that actually goes and sees what is happening, that you don't trust everything you see on social media. I know we're being told that families are being helped, that food is reaching communities, that they're getting clothes and water. But I stand here to tell you that's not entirely true. Just last night, I spoke with friends and family who've not had clean drinking water since the hurricane. They're sleeping outside under tarps or in cars, and they're still waiting to take a bath because there's no running water and there's no electricity. Again, thank you for your consideration, but please talk to some of the families who are here with you in Riviera Beach, get the truth, and do as much as you can. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker is D. Woods, followed by Fane Lozman and Mrs. Dolores Williams. D. Woods, Fane Lozman, Mrs. Dolores Williams, and Cindy March.
Fane Lozman. I've talked about it repeatedly, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to take this to federal court. I got a lawyer who's analyzing how we're going to do it. Mr. Guyton and Ms. Felicia Purnell, you did not participate in the adoption of these rules of decorum, so both of you will not be included in this legal action. As I told you before, these rules are unconstitutional. There's case law at the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals at the Federal Appellate Court that says these rules are unconstitutional, but yet you take no action to deal with it. You ratified the behavior of the city council chair by saying, hey, you can't have the police come up and put their hands on a speaker because you don't like the content of what they're saying. If they're not using fighting words, you can't do that. The city chair does not have the ability to tell a police officer to go remove somebody from the meeting. They have to have probable cause that a crime is going to be committed. It's either being committed or will shortly be committed. You cannot tell a police officer to do anything. What you're doing is censoring the content. It's already been laid out that if I want to direct my comment, I think Councilperson X is corrupt, I can say that. But based on your rules of decorum, oh, that violates the rules. If I want to say this city's a fucked up place,
No profanity.
you have a problem with that. But the Supreme Court has already ruled that profanity is protected by the First Amendment. Whether you like it or not, that's the law of the land. If somebody says, I'm going to come up here and kick your rear end, that is actionable. A police officer can remove you for that and arrest you if you're making a fighting word threat. But if you make comments regarding the performance of any individual member there, anybody in the city government, that's allowed. Profanity is allowed. Just go on YouTube and look at the amount of profanity in Los Angeles. There's nothing that can be done about that. You may not like the rules that have been developed through case law. You may not like the First Amendment, but that's what the First Amendment is for. I was the First Amendment Foundation Man of the Year in 2018. I've devoted 20 years fighting for the First Amendment. I spent 12 years in a federal court case that went to the U.S. Supreme Court. The city lost that case. The Chief Justice of the United States said what was going on with me when the police came up to me was chilling. That's what you're doing. You're violating the Supreme Court opinion that came down that talks about what goes on with the First Amendment. Where is your city attorney to explain what happened? I ran up a $925,000 legal bill fighting for the First Amendment that went to the Supreme Court. The city wrote a check for $875,000 for my legal fees to reimburse us.
Thank you for your comments.
I'm going to take you to federal court.
Thank you for your
Lanier, and
comments,
teach you a
sir.
lesson.
Thank you so much for your comments.
The next speaker is Mrs. Dolores Williams, followed by Cindy March and Erica Davis.
Good evening to the council, to the citizens of Riviera Beach. I'm so proud of all these people. Look at all those popos back there, man. I don't know what was going on tonight, but thank God. I hope you bless them. Bless them and give them a raise. Chief, tell these council, y'all need a raise for them. And some of the officers I know very well, and they're very good officers. But I just want to say something about Bishop Masters. You know, it's don't be in a glass house and throw a rock. Some of you up there done had different things happen in your lives and that should have never been brought up or should have been said. God has forgiven you and forgiven them. Please don't be doing that no more. You're not an angel, neither am I, but you need to stop that. And I'm so glad for Felder, the football player, and that please stop making some more peace in here and love one another. You say you can't call nobody name, but you'll call somebody name. Guys, we met before, right? I met before. I watch you just like you watch us. I know you're not the smartest one up there, and you're not the only one that know everything.
You have to address the entire council. You can't pick out a person. You have to address the entire council. No, you need to address the entire council, ma'am. Thank you.
Well, I'm addressing the whole council because he be up there. You need to follow him in some of the stuff he know.
Thank you.
So I really admire you for certain things. Really. I admire Melvin Lawson. I admire everybody, but let us work together. People quote quite a bit of scriptures, and I just wonder how y'all do when y'all get up here and act up, and y'all the current. He was talking, Mr. Finance man was talking, he was cutting them off. You was sitting up there, you don't want to see, then you cutting them off. What you're talking about the current? Y'all not doing that. We do that, you be ready to put the popo on us and tell them to put us out of here. So y'all need to stop that and treat us like y'all want to be treated. Okay? I admire you, Miss Lanier. You know, I've come to you and talked to you before. And I'm still going to come and talk to you, interview you too. I want to speak to you again, Mr. Guyton. So, and Ms. Anderson, you don't have to say nothing that much, but I would like to speak to you. I'm gonna speak to you all individual. Just like y'all sit and have your group and stuff. Please stop this and really get the water out. Thank you for hiring the new engineer for the water. It's still messed up. It's still messed up. I can put some up there for my dogs, and I have to put a cap of water and keep it to turn clear. Thank you.
The next speaker, Senate March, Erica Davis and Bishop Thomas Masters.
Good evening, Council. I pull Reverend Masters to the side. You know, we have to look at our past because we all got a past, and God will turn it around. I'm not here to quote scriptures, but over 40 years now, I've been out the streets. I was never on the drugs, don't even really drink alcohol, was a barmaid for over 30 years. And you know what changed my life? And I have said some bashful things to Reverend Masters when he was a mayor. Some of it was true. But judge ye not. If God is a forgiving God to me, He's a forgiving God to everybody. You all up there with sheep clothing on. You up there don't forget where you come from. I know Guyton.
Ma'am, address the entire council,
I'm gonna say this, and you're not gonna continue to interrupt me. Okay, that's not what the statute said to interrupt the council person. Okay, we're not gonna go through this, so let me finish talking. Okay, let me finish talking, please.
If you want to leave, you can
And
do that.
you
That is-
also,
the entire
as
council.
yourself, as a council person, has already been underclosed because it's HIPAA, and you've been given a second chance.
Listen,
So
ma'am,
let's
you
not
need to
forget.
address the entire council, or I will
addressing
have
the-
you
Hey,
removed.
you the one, the
I'm
hurt
letting
dog
you know
barked
this.
first. The
I'm
hurt
giving
dog
you a
barked
warning.
first. So you barking,
I'm
so
just
it must
letting
be
you know,
true.
giving you a warning.
Okay, you ain't giving me no warning because
Yes,
they can come
ma'am.
get this microphone,
Yes,
but they
ma'am.
can't put their hands on me because I'm not
No, of
threatening
course
you.
not.
I'm not threatening
Of
you.
course
But
not.
let me finish since I was
But we
so
can do
rudely
this the whole
interrupted.
3 minutes if you like.
Whatever you all did
It's up
and
to
whatever
you.
decision you all made, that was your own personal decision. I respect that. But don't forget where you come from. This man has helped you all be elected. He has helped you all. So I say to everybody out here and everybody watching on TV, they call me a bully and a gangster. I could have took them words 40 years ago because I kick ass and took names. I've been changed because people having guns now, they killing you. You all not worth me getting the handcuffs on me. I like to cook whole cake bread on my stove. So you're not going to tell me what to say out my mouth if I'm not threatening you. You all owe this man an apology. If I can apologize to you, if I can apologize to you, and if I can apologize to Reverend Masters, and I said some bad things to Reverend Masters, but I had to be the better person because that's what my parents taught me. And the only reason why I changed, because I know it's a good God. And I used to get up, and Sister Joan Bethel was on the radio. I asked her, I said, would you pray for me? And I was eager to hear this man's sermon. This man used to bring the word on 1600. And I've been changed for over 40 years because of this man and who God is. Don't stop me from talking because you don't want to hear the truth.
Ma'am, thank you for your comments, ma'am.
The next speaker is Erica Davis, Bishop Thomas Masters, and Bridget Wilburn.
Erica Davis, Riviera Beach. I'm very disappointed in what I've been seeing. And I've stood up here year after year and supported everybody basically on this board during election time. And I see you've been on here too long because you're not respecting the people that put you in office. And we're not getting what we want. And you're getting haughty. You're stepping over your boundaries with policies and getting in the administrative business. You're doing too much. And my chest is swelling up. I didn't come here, I was coming to support Bishop because Bishop has done a lot of things in this community. During COVID, I was with him cooking dinner for the people in the residents in the community. He is a person that fights for the rights, not just in Riviera Beach, but internationally, all over the world. He is international. He's not just a bishop locally, but he's a bishop, an international bishop, and he works diligently. Yes, we all have done things that we're not proud of, but overall, you cannot misjudge his work, and that he's still doing. But what I do know, that everybody out here that lives in Riviera Beach, they're your bosses. And I'm telling you, Riviera Beach residents, you better start acting like it and demanding what you want. Because one thing I do know, that you've been in these seats too long and you've gotten too comfortable and you're stepping over your bounds and you're disrespecting people. And I know a couple of you, this is your last term, but you best believe when it's time, we're going to change those seats again, because, you know, I'm getting pissed again, and I'm going to be out here more often. All the disrespect, Mr. Guy, that you're giving, Mr. Evans, I don't appreciate it. Because if we wanted Trodrick McCoy, we would have kept him in office. It's just ridiculous what you're doing.
Please.
And I'm just a little fed up. Thank you, Mr. Spiritus, for being respectful. We put you in office, and every time we ask you for something, you go against the grain. But keep going against the grain, because those seats will change, and you know they will if I say so.
Madam Chair, the next speaker is Bishop Thomas Masters, followed by Bridget Wilburn and Pastor Ray Whiteley.
Just a few words. I thank the mayor for your leadership. I thank all of you for however you voted. Hopefully you voted your conscience. But for me and my house, all is well. All is well. What I don't understand, there was a city, a town called West Palm Beach. There were commissioners that sat there. There was another man named Donald J. Trump. 34 felonies. Civil suits. Lost some of them. And yet, there wasn't any debate about a street being named after President Donald Trump. No debate. 34 felonies and everything else that came along with it. But I come to my own city and my own people, and there's a debate. Let the work that I've done and will continue to do speak for me. All is well. We're going forward. We're going forward. Not going to be discouraged. There was a woman whose son died and had reason to give up and to grieve. The prophet asked her, "How do you feel?" And she said those words, "All is well." Do what you want to do. To me, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to do. But truth crushed to the ground will rise up again. Thank you.
The next speaker is Bridget Wilburn, followed by Pastor Ray Whiteley.
It's kind of emotional for me right now. Bishop Masters has been my pastor for over 35 years. I've been a social worker here in Palm Beach County for 34 years. I'm just appalled because this man has served our community. He served this nation, people that are on the council. Mr. Guyden, when you were on the bottom, you
Ma'am,
came to my
please address
pastor's door,
the
knocking on his
entire
door for
council.
things.
Ma'am,
He was there
address
for
the
you.
entire council, please.
And you have the nerve and the gall to not to vote for him.
Ma'am,
I'm
have
going to
to
sit down.
you have to address the
Everybody
entire
has the
council.
right to vote however they want to vote. But it's shameful It's very shameful to do this to this man. The Bible says, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. The same people that put that lie out on this man, that young man came to the church, to the police station, everywhere, and told the people the names that told him to lie on this man. He told a lie. Do you know they're dead now? They're not here. One person came and begged his to come to her bedside and begged his pardon for putting out the lie. The young man said, I'm so sorry to the entire church, 300 people in the church. I lied. They told me to lie on Bishop Masters. How dare you? As he said, everything he's done has spoken for him. I've been there 35 years. I traveled to the United Nations. I've been all over the world with this man. He's the best, closest thing that you know. What pastors have done what he's done in this community, not only in this community, but Palm Beach County, Downward Upward Hope program here in Riviera Beach. So many people can come and tell you how that program saved their life. How so many people feeding the homeless 20 years, every Sunday morning, Saturday morning. I'm done. Thank you for your votes who voted yes. Those who voted no, that's your opinion. You're entitled to it. But you guys are wrong. And we're not done. Bruce.
Madam Chair, the last speaker is Pastor Ray Whiteley. Andrea.
Good evening, Commissioners.
Go ahead, sir.
Good evening, Commissioners, city staffs, and community members. My name is Pastor Ray Whiteley, and I stand here on behalf of nonprofit partners working in some of the most rural and underserved areas in the Caribbean. I wanted to begin by saying thank you. Thank you for your leadership and compassion, and it have not gone unnoticed. There are people in Jamaica who are calling out this city's name. When tragedy struck our Caribbean neighbors, you didn't just issue statements of sympathy, you acted. You organized, you partnered, and you gave. What Riviera Beach has done represents more than a local act of kindness. It's a reflection of a city with deep Caribbean roots, a city that understands that neighbor doesn't stop at a shoreline. Many of the families who live, work, and worship here trace their heritage to an island like Jamaica, Haiti, Trinidad, and Bahamas. So when the Caribbean hurts, Riviera Beach feels it too. The initiatives that you've led, mobilizing, raising awareness, and partnering with nonprofits on the ground have reached communities that are often overlooked. In rural areas where the roads are still blocked, where small farmers are still digging out, and where families are trying to rebuild piece by piece. Your support has made a difference. You've shown what true partnership looks like. You reminded us that leadership is not about titles, but about service. You've demonstrated what it means for a city to move with both heart and strategy. On behalf of nonprofits and community network across the Caribbean, thank you for standing with us. Thank you for choosing to lead with love and to act with urgency and to care beyond borders. May the spirit of unity, say that one more time, may the spirit of unity that began here continue to ripple across oceans, because when one island rises, all of us rise together. I apologize for leaving, but 75% of my family members have still not yet been identified in Jamaica. So the phone has been ringing and I'm in and out. Every time the phone rings, I get a little anxious because I'm thinking that they found someone, but I get a little anxious because I think they found somebody that's not in the best of condition. So I just wanted to stop by to say thank you for your support. Your act of kindness, like I read, is really echoing and it's being amplified across not only Palm Beach County, but Broward County. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that, sir.
Madam Chair, that's the end of public comment.
I'm sorry.
That's the end of public comment.
Mr. Evans, do you have any response to the items that were discussed at public comment?
No, Madam Chair.
All right, very good. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Madam Chair, we are on item 8C, ordinance number 4287, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Riviera Beach, Palm Beach County, Florida, making appropriations and establishing a budget for the fiscal year beginning on October 1st, 2025, and ending on September 30th, 2026, providing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. Madam Chair, we don't have any comment cards on this item. The acceptance of the cards is closed.
So moved. Second. Mr. Evans?
Madam Chair, members of the board, if I can have the Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Sherman, to make this presentation.
Yes, item 8C, ordinance 40, Randy Sherman, Chief Financial Officer. Ordinance 4287, it's the same as ordinance 4286. We were informed that we need to vote on this item a second time due to the error in the posting of the public notice.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
I'm Chair.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Mr. Sherman, can you tell me, do we have, actually, this should really go to the city manager. Do we have enough money in there to do the remilling and asphalting that the staff would like to do this year?
Madam Chair, if I may?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, we do have monies for milling and resurfacing some of the roadway projects. That particular item is slated to come before the board. It's under the cone of silence, but we will be able to provide for a description of all the roadways that we're planning to mill and resurface in the city.
Okay, thank you. Another question, if we want to do we have enough money? We have a contingency line in there. If any of the departments want to make changes, whether it's the fire department or the police department, with personnel, do you have a place where you can take that money?
Madam Chair, if I may?
Yes, go ahead.
We do have contingencies budgeted citywide. Depending in certain departments, there is small contingencies, but not very much for personnel-related changes. If there's any personnel-related modifications, that would be part of the operational budget, but most likely any modifications associated with personnel are absorbed by whether it's salary savings from vacant positions and the like, but the personnel items are budgeted to the T, but we do have a contingency for the general city budget in its entirety.
Okay, Chair. So if Chief Coleman or Chief Kerr came to you and said, I'd like to make a change, move somebody up or move somebody to a different position, you would have that ability to do that with your overall contingency line?
Madam Chair, if I may?
Yes, go ahead.
If there's an internal promotion, they do have flexibilities to promote persons into the position, or if there's vacancies that occur, there's not in order to, let's say they wanted to move a position down, that would require legislative action by the city council to do that, to downgrade a position. So let's just say they had a battalion chief, and they said, instead of a battalion chief, I need a fire inspector. That would require legislative action from the board to effectively downgrade that position. But upgrade, they can provide situations where they promote people into the position. If it's situations where they are asking for additional complements and staff, that's something that we have to bring back before you all for consideration. So if it's a situation where public safety or any of the departments say, we need this, we have to bring that back to you after the adoption of the budget. We don't have the flexibility and latitude right now, not knowing, but we do have the ability to come back to the board at any time to make personnel adjustments accordingly.
Okay, you answered my question. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions? 8C, Madam Clerk.
Councilperson Guyton,
Yes.
Chair Pro Tem Miller Anderson,
Yes.
Councilperson Spiritus,
Yes.
Chairperson Lanier.
Yes.
That's a unanimous vote.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item.
Madam Chair, we are on item number 9, ordinances on first reading. Item 9A, ordinance 4285, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Riviera Beach, Palm Beach County, Florida, approving a request from CORE PGAL Inc. on behalf of the City of Riviera Beach to abandon 2 unutilized right-of-ways to allow for the construction of a new police headquarters located at 1621 West Blue Heron Boulevard, providing for conditions of approval, providing for an effective date, and for other purposes. Madam Chair, we do have public comment cards on this item. We have 2 public comment cards on this item. The acceptance of the cards is closed.
So moved. Second. Mr. Evans?
Madam Chair, members of the board, at this time, I'll ask the Director of Development Services, Mr. Sermons, to make this presentation.
Mr. Sherman? I'm sorry, Mr. Sermons.
Thank you. Good evening again, Madam Chair, members of council, and honorable mayor. As read into the record, the item before you is related to the construction of the proposed future police station. I have prepared a visual presentation of the project and staff's review. If no issue with it, it will include all 3 components of this project, although only the abandonment has been read into the record so far. First, I will start by showing the location of the proposed project on the screen. The star near the laser pointer is the location approximately in the center of the city. This aerial view of the property currently contain the Barracuda Bay Aquatic Center and associated parking. The first component of this project is an abandonment ordinance. As our land development code requires, it is an ordinance requiring 2 readings to abandon a street roadway. Currently, there is a platted street for Perry Street going through the property, as well as Arkin Street. Neither one have been improved for streets, and the city has no need to utilize them for a street in the current or future. Aside from the abandonment, which has been reviewed and found to have no issues by city staff, there's a land use change that is associated with the property. Currently, the future land use is set to recreation, as again, this is a recreative use that is used on the property right now. The proposed use as a police station would fall under community facilities, and that is the nature of the application here. Again, this has been reviewed and found to be consistent with the current and future plans at the site. The adjacent land uses are also consistent with what's being proposed here, as on 2 sides, the property is already abutting community facilities. And here is a picture of the site from the nearest intersection and from Avenue S. The proposed site plan is on the screen before you now. A Blue Heron is at the top of the screen here, and then Avenue S. Nearest to Blue Heron is the proposed evidence building and gun range. The primary 2-story police headquarters building is identified under the laser pointer now. The site will also contain outdoor training area and a generator building. Before you now is the proposed landscaping plan for the site. And now the elevations of the primary police building. At the top is the exterior south elevation, west and east. And finally, the elevations facing Blue Heron Boulevard, the evidence and gun range building. East elevation is at the top, and the west, the south elevation, and then finally the north elevation, which is what passerbyers would see as they go down Blue Heron Boulevard. Staff has reviewed this application, including development services and multiple other departments of the city, and found it consistent or satisfactory to their area, respective areas of review. This hearing has been properly noticed, and staff has received no communications regarding the project for or against. The recommendation from staff is to approve all 3 components of this project. That concludes the staff presentation. The applicant, who represents the development team, which is also the city, is here and prepared to present as well. That concludes the staff presentation.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, could we get public comment, please?
Madam Chair, we have two public comment cards. The first speaker is Billy Brooks, followed by Reno Wells.
Good evening, everyone. Billy Brooks, 1325 West 28th Street. I'm here in my position as the president of the Riviera Beach Police Foundation. I'm just asking you to please approve every action tonight that will help expedite getting the construction of our police station. I had signed up originally for Part B, but I know A is also important to get it started. So I'm just asking that if you would please vote favorably for this project. And by the way, Madam Chair, I missed your birthday. I want to say happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you.
The next speaker is Reno Wells.
Good evening. First, I want to say thank you for trying to continue our legacy of the officers that's gone before and the officers that's coming up. Just have a few things about the police department development. I'd like to see it really have a little stench of efficiency and quality control. I like to see it meet the mandates on time. We was at this point some years back, and somehow we let $21 million get away from us, and we were ahead of the game. I also like to see you designate a police department project manager with his or her team, and also with that, have present or present quarterly update meetings about the progress of that police station. And in that quarterly update meetings, have all the stakeholders and the essential players in that meeting and have it posted on Channel 18, a little bit of transparency. This is about something else here. Public transparency seems to be a problem here. When you get an issue, someone complains, have them to write you in writing a solution. If you deem it worthy, invite them to that respective workshop. Okay, let them be heard. This isn't the place. Lastly, on our 185 money, I got to get this out here. This is pertaining to the police officers. On the people that's trying to get our 185 money, I would encourage you to get educated, attend a couple of board meetings, call our attorney, call our investment managers, call our consultant, read the statute, especially 185.185. It's not hard to find. Avoid overreach, stay in your lane, and avoid possible criminal charges coming from someone on the pension board. Thank you very much.
Madam Chair, that's the end of public comment.
Any questions about this item?
Madam Chair?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Okay, I came to this dance a little late. The decision seemed to have been made on the location of the police station before I came on the council. But I'm a little concerned because I asked staff questions with respect to moving the location. And my concern is pretty simple. The aquatic center, Barracuda Bay, is a $23 million aquatic center. We're going to knock that down and build another aquatic center for about $30-40 million. So before we put a shovel in the ground, we basically went through, $50-60 million, which is probably the cost of the entire police station. So I think that we probably could have done a better job in picking another location, maybe where the old police station was or another location, which would not have cost us any money. To think that we're going to make back that money on the sale of property at City Hall, I think that's very hard to believe, because that two-acre site or whatever is not going to bring you 40, 50, 60 million dollars. Just the 2.5 acre part that we're talking about for a police station. So I think we made a wise decision with 87. But I was given information that we could not change this because it's a referendum and the people vote on this. And therefore, we must use this location. I have the official ballot here. Public safety, City of Riviera Beach, public safety, police facility, general obligation bonds. To acquire, construct, equip, and approve a new public safety police facility and pay related costs, shall the City of Riviera Beach, Florida issue bonds not exceeding $35 million in one or more series bearing interest not exceeding the maximum legal rate, maturing not later than 30 years from their issuance dates, pledging the city's full faith, credit, ad valorem taxing power to pay such bonds as described in Resolution 26-23. If you go to Resolution 26-23, Section 3, Project Bonds and Reimbursement. A, the project is hereby approved and the findings set forth in Section 2B hereof with respect thereto confirmed. The city may, in its sole discretion, by official action, evidenced by a resolution or ordinance of the City Council adopted or enacted from time to time, modify or amend all or any portion of the items included in the project to, 1, delete one or more of the components of the project if the city determines it is not feasible or is otherwise not in the best interest of the city to pursue, or 2, substitute or modify one or more of the components of the project if the city determines such substitution or modification better serves the city purposes, provided such modified or substituted facility improvement or equipment shall be included in the city's 5-year capital improvement program as adopted from time to time and to be related to public safety with respect to the project. Clearly, we could have changed the location of this project by a simple resolution of the City Council. It did not have to go back to a referendum of the public, which is what I was told by city staff. I'm here as a city council person representing 40,000 plus people. I have to have the proper information when I make decisions on $50, $60 million projects. I don't know if the other council members were told the same thing that I was told, but clearly I was given this information. Clearly, as I said before, the horse is out of the barn. I don't want to do anything that's going to stop this project or make it difficult. I support the city's finest, and we do have the finest here in Riviera Beach wearing blue. And I will support anything that's necessary for them to do their jobs and make their lives a lot better. But I just am upset that we did not make the proper decision a couple of years ago in choosing the location. And we probably could have made a better decision months ago before we got to this point. So I'm a little troubled with how we got to this point. Of course, I'm happy to see that the police get their new headquarters and the city gets a new police headquarters. It's very important to us. Just how we got here, I'm not happy with. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions?
Madam Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
I concur with Councilman Spiritus. I was given information that I found not to be true. Some residents only see the reaction to things that they don't know happening behind the scenes. And it gets frustrating. And conveying it in a frustrating way is not the proper way to deal with being misled and being told things that are not truthful. That is not a good feeling. But as it relates to this project here, I've been asking for something in writing from the county that would waive the $1.5 million that we would have to pay if they decided that they were not going to cooperate. So I've been asking Mr. Evans on more than one occasion about trying to get something in writing. And if we don't get it in writing, how we're going to pay that 1.5 mil? And that's a question to you, Mr. Evans.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
So we've had conversations with county staff about the city's desire to effectively utilize that particular parcel. And county staff has conveyed to us, no different than they have done with other municipalities, that they would be amenable to multiple options that they provided the city. One, a situation where the city would, in essence, write a check for the $1.5 million that the county provided to help fund the project 30 years ago. Two, that they would provide for the remaining 2 years that are left on the agreement to be added on to an agreement with the city, basically holding our agreement in an abeyance for when the aquatic center is constructed, and then adding 2 years on it and saying the city will operate an aquatic center for a period of 2 years to basically fulfill that obligation. No different than they've done with Wellington actually went through that particular process. We have also had conversations with county administrator and county staff, as well as our district representative from the county, that in the event that this item is successful moving through the process, that they would take this item up to the Board of County Commissioners, and they have worked with our legal department as it relates to what a modification to the agreement is. So there is a shell of what an agreement is, and that would move into the subsequent phases if the board moves forward in adopting the items that are before you this evening in subsequent actions. But we don't have a situation where, and you wouldn't have that particular documentation because the county administrator would not provide for something in writing that he would guarantee or say that the Board of County Commissioners would approve it, because he would not know until that item goes before them. But we have good assurities and confidence that if the item is moving forward and we accomplish some of the things that we shared as it relates to the Aquatics on the Go programming, that we should be successful in clearing some of the hurdles that are provided for associated with this item.
Madam Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Evans, you're saying that we should be prepared to pay 1.5 if they decide not to waive it?
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
I don't think we should be prepared to pay the 1.5 because I believe that some of the work that we put in as it relates to some of the community meetings, the charrettes, the discussions that we've had with county staff, and the nature of the correspondence going back and forth, I believe that we're in a good position because they have conceded to allow for other municipalities to, in essence, do the same thing that the city of Riviera Beach is requesting.
Yes, go ahead.
I've been having conversations too, and I'm not getting what you're getting. And that is frustrating. That is why I keep saying, whatever the process is to get it in writing, allow them to take it before the board before we get stuck holding the bag for 1.5 mil. That's all I was suggesting. Cover the residents. Verbal mean nothing in this game. Nothing. You go to the county commission, they may have a different opinion. You just said staff can make the decision. And I've been asking that. My job is to try to protect the residents. Residents have been coming to me. Everybody's not enthusiastic about moving the pool. I didn't even know that they had senior programs over there. A couple of senior citizens even called me. But it's important to me that we cover our bases and not just on what you consider to be verbal suggestions that they're going to do this, they're going to do that. I've been in politics a long time. Sometimes things change. Sometimes staff say, I thought that we were going to be able to do it.
Madam Chair.
Wait, one last thing. And the point that I'm making, in my opinion, all of this is premature. Everything that we're doing tonight or getting ready to do without an agreement in writing is premature. And we're going to pay for it, I think. You can have it, Madam Chair.
Go ahead, ma'am.
I just wanted to say that I know we're very passionate about a lot of these items on here. And I know that we understand that we may not have any other meetings this month. So it's 8:30 and I know some people are gonna be ready to go around 10 o'clock. So we might want to try to stick to the points and move forward so we can get through the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that we will do that, Councilperson. I am all for this police station. I understand that there was questions about where it was going to go. The city engineers and the city administration went around this city trying to find land for it. We found the land that we actually own. We're looking at putting a headquarters for the police department. The fire department has 2, working on 3 stations. And we have yet to get started with the police station. The police are jammed into Martin Luther King and Congress, that port center over there. They are jammed up at the Lindsay Davis Center. So they have no police station at all. There is none. So what we have to do is, time is of the essence, that we move this forward and that we can do things simultaneously. While we're doing this, we can do something else. I think that we can walk and chew gum at the same time. So I really want to move this forward so that we can start with this project. And the first step is clearing the land.
Madam Chair. Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
I like your simultaneously suggestion. I don't like putting the pool off for the kids until this is done. And let me say this, I've always supported the police department. I still support the police department. People sitting there who are part of the pension board, I served on the board. I served as the chair of the board. And I fought hard and always will. I'm a rational thinking person. That's all I'm saying. And I know that the 2 fire stations have been built. I don't know how that happened. I wasn't here. But what I do know is that if we don't get an agreement, we're complaining about we don't have the funds to give the non-union employees a 6% increase. We went at 4%. I just want to know where we're going to get that 1.5 from. If we can't, our greatest resource are our employees. And if we can't take care of them, where are we going to get the 1.5 from?
Thank you so much, sir.
Madam Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
Just one comment, and I think that this whole conversation is centered around just a question by my councilman. Mr. Evans, I know you kind of advised that we're hopeful that won't be an issue or discussion. Do we have anywhere in our budget that actually could allocate or address the 1.5 if we're required to pay for that?
Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
if that's something that is requested from the county, then we would come back before the board to discuss some additional options. Madam Chair, if I may?
Yes, go ahead.
Let me finish my comments, Madam Chair, if that's
Go
okay?
ahead.
Thank you. And to that point, and I agree, Mr. Evans, thank you for that. We can address that. I don't believe that's going to be a concern. I was on the board when the decision was made to put this facility here, and I wholeheartedly support it because I agree that we need to move forward with finding a space for our police officers. My concern at the time when we first looked was to find the quickest option for us. And because the land is already off of the tax roll, we weren't going to be impacting the residents in any fashion with taking this land. So at the time, that was the best decision. I still believe it is the best decision because it's going to be the closest location to our schools. There was some statement that was made earlier about it's going to cost us $40 million to build another aquatic center. I just want to make sure that the comments that are made from all of my colleagues are clear, where it's not going to be a $40 million aquatic center. We're building an entire Parks and Recs facility that's going to go on the north end. This is the part of the discussion. So hopefully the school board and the county will approve these items, and once they do, we'll move forward. If they don't, we'll go ahead and pivot and opine and decide how we're going to do it. The concern and why we're still having this discussion was a simple question that Commissioner Guyton asked, and I think we've gone around and around for no reason. Let's just move forward with the item. If we have to address this, we'll bring this back before the board and we'll have a discussion. I've had the same conversations as well, and I'm hopeful that the county will do what they've done in other municipalities by approving this freeze or pause on this item to bring back. So colleagues, I would recommend we support this, move forward with our police officers, moving into their new home and move forward with this facility. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, to the mayor, I mean, clearly it's going to be at least $23 million to build a new aquatic center as part of the new recreation center. It's actually over $50 million, I believe, we're spending on the recreation center. But the aquatic center will be 20 some odd million, and losing the 23 million that we already spend, that's how I got up to the 40 some odd million dollars with reference to my numbers. With reference to the staff looking for locations, I don't know how they overlooked the location of where the old police station was and the city hall site, all the land in back of that. But I do agree that we should move forward right now.
Thank you very much. Madam Clerk?
Councilperson Guyton?
No.
Chair Pro Tem Miller Anderson?
Yes.
Councilperson Spiritus? Chairperson Lanier?
Yes.
That vote passes with Councilperson Guyton dissenting.
Next item.
Madam Chair, we are on item 9B, ordinance 4284, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Riviera Beach, Palm Beach County, Florida, approving a future land use change from recreation to community facility submitted by CORE and PGAL Inc. on behalf of the City of Riviera Beach for the purpose of constructing a new police department headquarters at 1621 West Blue Heron Boulevard in the City of Riviera Beach, providing for an effective date and for other purposes. Madam Chair, we have 3 public comment cards on this item. The acceptance of the public comment cards is closed.
Mr. Sermons? Oh, second. Mr. Sermons? Go.
Thank you. Good evening again, Madam Chair. This item was covered in the previous presentation. Staff does not have additional comments on it, but available if there are any questions. This is related to the necessary future land use change for the police station property.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, public comment.
The first speaker is Billy Brooks, followed by Bobby Brooks Jr. and Reno Wells.
First of all, thank you all so much. I know we had to get past the hurdle of approving the zoning. As the chair of the foundation, I want you to know that we are very excited about you all moving forward now. One of our missions is to try to raise money, and we want to get busy with a campaign to assist in raising funds for this project. I'm also very excited about the fact that the location is just ideal when I look at where we're going to be located near the 3 schools, the high school, the elementary school, the middle school. And we are aware of what's going on in our world today in the schools where our kids are always at risk of someone coming in and, committing a crime. And I do feel that that location will be a definite deterrent to persons even considering that. But also, I want you all to be so appreciative to have the greatest police chief that Riviera Beach has ever had. And I have been in this community looking at the chief since 1966. And we have got the best, not one of the best, but the best police chief we've ever had. And I think that we should show respect for his vision, that this is something that's important to him, as well as all these wonderful policemen. And I also feel that, not to have given consideration to the vision, that this would have been disrespect to the police chief. I think they're all excited about this. We're all excited about this, and I know the community will be excited to have our own police station. Right now, as I think it was someone of you who said that they're all crowded. We do not have access to the police station 24/7. So this is something that's going to be great for our city, and I'm just so appreciative that you will act favorably on this. We want to make the chief feel proud about what he's doing. He has a great heart to help his men, and then he loves the community. He has his men involved in the community, especially in the education area. He's just out there trying to prove everything to the people that his department is here to provide safety and really just to find out how can they best serve the community. So I'm just so thankful for you guys for what you're doing. Again, I'm looking for you to approve this as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Bobby Brooks Jr., followed by Reno Wells. Okay, Reno Wells.
Hey, thank you guys. Thank you very much. Billy pretty much said it all. I hope we're getting a facility that we can grow the next 40 or 50 years, and also there's community access for that facility. They paid as much as my officers has paid into it. Thank you very much, Chief Coleman, for your efforts and for your initiative that you're moving the department forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, that's the end of public comment.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Question for you. You had mentioned about simultaneously chewing gum and walking, and I assume that you were referring to doing the pool at the same time.
I was making sure that we were talking about the 1.5. I wanted to make sure that as they are clearing that land, that they are getting agreements with the county for that money. Because I think that from my understanding, once we have approved it, which we just did, it goes to the county commissioners to do. So that was why I was talking about simultaneously.
Okay.
Madam
for
Clerk, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, and for the record, I'm in support of the project,
Right.
but I also have to be conscientious of what we got hanging over here too, and somebody has to talk about it. So I guess that'll be me.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk?
Councilperson Guyton. Councilperson Guyton.
Yes.
Chair Pro Tem Miller Anderson.
Yes.
Councilperson Spiritus.
Yes.
Chairperson Lanier.
Yes.
I see unanimous vote.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, we are on item 11, resolutions on regular agenda, item 11A, resolution number 90-
Hold on. 9C.
I'm sorry, I apologize, I went too fast. We are on item
I don't mind
9C, ordinance number 4297, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Riviera Beach, Palm Beach County, Florida, amending Chapter 2 of the city's Code of Ordinances entitled Administration, Article 6, entitled Code Enforcement, to add supplemental procedures and a schedule of violations and penalties for civil citations, providing for severability and conflicts, providing for codification, and providing for an effective date. Madam Chair, we do not have comment cards on this item. The acceptance of the cards is closed.
Motion. A motion for this item. Ordinance number 4297.
So moved.
Very good. Sermons.
Thank you again, Madam Chair. The ordinance before you is the first time we have brought this before City Council for consideration. I prepared a concise presentation to outline the nuts and bolts of what's being proposed here. This is related to code compliance in the city. Right now, code compliance is enforced through two departments. So Development Services covers code compliance as it relates to real property in the city and development related to it. And then Public Works has a code compliance division that handles solid waste. This ordinance would affect both departments and how it's constructed. I'll do a quick rundown of the current setup of the code compliance process. So generally, if a city staff member observes a violation on a property, they write it up into a case and they provide it to the property owner giving them notice that there's a violation and a time to cure it. Generally, that cure time is 30 days, but it depends on the type of violation. If the violation is not cured within the allotted time, the case is prepared for the development special magistrate hearing. At that hearing, the case and the evidence is presented to the judge, and they are requested to make a determination and impose any fines, penalties, or additional enforcement actions that may be appropriate. The process to get it to the magistrate could be an additional 2 to 4 weeks, depending on the time of the month when the case is ready. The special magistrate judge would rule on the case, and they would generally give additional time. If it is not cured, then fines would go into place, and those fines could eventually turn into a lien against the property. That is the standard process that is in place for code enforcement in the city. So your code compliance officers cannot in themselves impose a single fine on a property owner. The objective of this ordinance is to provide additional tools for city staff to address certain violations that are not effectively enforced on the timeline that was mentioned, which could be approximately 90 days. Violations that cause immediate and irrevocable harm to a property or to the city or public health, and then violations that present a serious threat to public health, safety, and welfare. The proposed civil citation process would allow city staff, code enforcement staff, to identify a violation and immediately impose a council-adopted fine on the violator. The violator would then have the opportunity to request a hearing to contest the violation. If the violator does not contest the fine within 30 days, the violator is found guilty and the fine amount would be due. The city would be able to use all available powers to collect the fines, including liens and withholding of certificates of use connected to the BTR process. This is what the civil citation ordinance before you would bring forth today. We have prepared a draft fee schedule of this for your review and approval, or if you have any changes or amendments to it, again, this is first reading, so those could be taken into account and reflected for second reading if that is the desire of council. Currently, it would cover peddler solicitation permit licenses. That's a street vendor that did not get the proper license to sell within the city. Construction hours limited, that is violating the hours that work can be done and violating the noise ordinance. Illegally discarded refrigerators, home freezers, or other airtight units. Illicit discharges, an example of that would be a restaurant dumping old grease down the city's storm drain, which causes significant damage. Trash off schedule, the location and set out of residential waste containers, and any accumulations that could be a threat to health and safety. And that could be illegal dumping or evictions when items are dumped on the curb. So those are the items that staff believes are most appropriate for this type of civil citation, and we provide a fee schedule, a fine amount schedule for it. And if those fines are, if it becomes necessary to issue those fines on a second or third time, the fee schedule does allow for an increase in that fine amount by $100 each occasion up to the third offense. That is what staff has prepared and proposes to address for these chronic issues in the city, and we are available for any questions, comments, concerns, or feedback, suggested adjustments to this ordinance. And I, again, have worked on this with the Public Works Director, and both of us are here for any questions, comments, or concerns.
Thank you. Any questions from the board in regards to that? Madam Clerk, do we have any public comments?
Madam Chair, we do not have any public comment cards on this item.
Hearing no responses, Madam Clerk, please call the question.
Councilperson Guyton?
Yes.
Chair Pro Tem Miller Anderson?
Yes.
Councilperson Spiritus?
Yes.
Chairperson Lanier?
Yes.
That's a unanimous vote.
Thank you. Next item.
Okay, Madam Chair, we are on regular agenda. Item 11, resolutions on regular agenda. 11A, resolution number 90-25, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Riviera Beach, Palm Beach County, Florida, approving a site plan application by Core and PGAL Inc. on behalf of the City of Riviera Beach to construct a new police department headquarters at 1621 West Blue Heron Boulevard in the city of Riviera Beach, providing for conditions of approval, providing for an effective date, and for other purposes. Madam Chair, we don't have any comment cards on this item. The acceptance of the cards is closed.
Second. Mr. Sermons.
Yes, Madam Chair. This item was covered in the previous presentation related to the police headquarters construction project. Staff is here if there are any questions.
Any concerns about resolution number 9025? Madam Clerk.
Councilperson Guyton?
Yes.
Sorry, hold on. She said no public comment.
No public
They're in
comment.
the public comment card. That was a yes, Councilman Guyton?
Yes.
Okay. Chair Pro Tem Miller Anderson?
Yes.
Councilperson Spiritus?
Yes.
Chairperson Lemire?
Yes.
That's a unanimous vote. Madam Chair, we are on item 11B, resolution number 01-25, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Riviera Beach, Palm Beach County, Florida, announcing the award of the Blight Prevention through Demolition Grant from the Solid Waste Authority in the amount of $124,500 to perform demolition of the Barracuda Bay asphalt parking and disconnects located at 1621 West Blue Heron Boulevard, Riviera Beach, Florida, legally identified as property control number 5643422904-0080010, authorizing the mayor and acting city clerk to execute an interlocal grant agreement with Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County, authorizing the finance director to establish a budget and providing an effective date. Madam Chair, we do not have comment cards on this item. The acceptance of the cards is closed.
Mr. Evans.
So moved.
Second. Mr. Evans.
Madam Chair and members of the board, I would ask that the police chief, Mr. Michael Coleman, to make this presentation.
Coleman. I'm sorry, Chief Coleman.
That's okay, ma'am. Good evening, good night. Madam Chair, Board, Chief Coleman, Riviera Beach Police Department. Prior to me giving my presentation, I'd like to thank the board for approving the police department and all the retirees and all the core construction and all the citizens for supporting the police department. Without them, I know this would not be possible. But I want to thank everybody openly and say I really appreciate the support over the years, and we're gonna make the city and the agency proud. Thank you. My item is 11B, seeking approval from the board to accept $124,000 from Solid Waste Authority to remove slummy and blight. This is the grant for slummy and blight for demolition of phase 1 of the Barracuda Bay. It's for the asphalt and disconnects. Last week we applied for $214,000 for phase 2 of Barracuda Bay. At this time, we're just seeking your approval to accept the dollars. If you have any questions, I'm here and answering the questions.
Thank you, Chief, for stepping up to get someone else to pay for this. We really appreciate that. Any other questions for the chief in regards to this item? Madam Clerk.
Councilperson Guyton?
Yes.
Chair Pro Tem Miller Anderson?
Yes.
Councilperson Spiritus?
Yes.
Chairperson Lanier?
Yes.
That's a unanimous vote.
Thank you, sir. Next item.
Madam Chair, on item 11C, resolution number 150-25, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Riviera Beach, Palm Beach County, Florida, approving a site plan and special exception request from Aqua Holdings LLC for a plus or minus 1,228,572 square foot mixed-use development to include 508 condominium residential units, plus or minus 10,000 square feet of retail and restaurant with a parking garage on approximately plus or minus 4.27 acres of land, generally located at 1117 Broadway Boulevard between West 11th Street and West 12th Street, providing for conditions of approval, providing for applicability, conflict, severability, and qualification, and providing for an effective date and for other purposes. Madam Chair, we do have public comment cards. We have 2 public comment cards on this item. The acceptance of the cards is closed.
So moved. Second. Mr. Evans.
Madam Chair, members of the board, if I could have the Director of Development Services, Mr. Sermons, to make this presentation.
The sermons.
Good evening again.
You're all in the agenda tonight. Go
Madam
ahead.
Chair, I tried to get a sip of water. I'm sorry. This item was brought to your attention earlier in the agenda as you recently approved the zone change to ICPUD for this property. Now before you is the associated site plan for this project. For the presentation on this item, I will yield to Principal Planner Curtis Thompson, who will give you additional details on this project. And again, the applicant is here and prepared to present as well. Mr. Thompson.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sherman. Mr. Sermons, I'm sorry. Mayor, Madam Chair, council members, and those in the audience. I'm Kurt Thompson. I will be presenting this item before you. What you have here is the project location map with the red dot showing the location of subject property. The land use of the subject property is shown here, southwest corner of US Highway 1 and West 12th Street within the city of Riviera Beach. It is situated southwest of the city, southwest of the site of the Broadway, and the property is 4.27 acres. You heard and acted on the ordinance regarding the rezoning, and now before you, this is the subject site with the prior zoning of downtown core, and now this is the site that's being with the IAC PUD, which is the Inter Harbor Center Plan Unit Development. You now have the thank you, sir. You now have the resolution which was read to you by the city clerk involving the site plan and the special exception. The proposal is for 1,228,572 square feet, 508 condominium units, and plus or minus 10,000 square feet of commercial and retail, restaurant and retail, I'm sorry, with a parking garage of 1,083 parking spaces. Okay, so the proposed improvements will be constructed on both parcels. It consists of the 4.28 acres. Site will be developed with the 508 units, as I said, plus or minus 10,000 square feet of retail and restaurant with a parking garage located at 1117 Broadway between West 11th to the south and West 12th to the north. The existing condition is vacant property. Here are the parcel control numbers. There's lot size. The zoning was downtown core and it's being rezoned as you approved to Inland Harbor Center Plan Unit Development. The future land use is downtown mixed use. This is a look at along Broadway, looking to the west. This is looking at the front of the subject property. This is the architectural rendering of the northeast corner view from Broadway. You have another architectural view along West 11th Street showing you the subject property. And this is the architectural rendering view at the corner of Avenue E and West 11th Street. This is the east building elevation for the subject property. You can see here that it's essentially approximately 214 feet in height at the highest point and approximately about 130 feet at its lowest point. The highest point here and the lowest point here with the two lower story buildings. This is the west building elevation for your viewpoint.
Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
Ms. Thompson, can you go back? What was the highest point on the
Sorry?
what was the highest point in the highest building?
Will be approximately 20 stories, the two highest towers, and the two lowest towers will be approximately, I think, 13 stories.
Okay, thank you. There's 13, I counted.
Yes,
Thank you.
13 stories. They are within they do not exceed the 20-story limit, or they do not exceed the 240-foot high limitation. Therefore, MEHOP is not triggered.
That's exactly what I was getting at. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. This is the north building elevation, as you can see here. Excuse me. And then this is the south building elevation. This is the subject site plan that you have here. This is, you will notice there's no ingress or egress along Broadway here. The ingress and egress is from the north along West 12th Street and along the south along West 11th Street. The applicant thought and staff agreed that this way, without any access along Broadway, it minimizes the traffic impact along Broadway. This is the phasing plan that you have before you. The applicant has 4 phases. The first phase will be a 5-year build out. The second phase will be 6 years. The third phase, 9 years, and the fourth phase, 12 years. The first phase consists of building 2, Tower 2A, with a temporary sales trailer on the subject site. I believe you all in the staff report, ma'am, you have a layout of that. Okay. This is the landscape plan, the first portion of it. You're looking at the northwest corner. This is Avenue E, and this is the northwest corner. I'm showing you the landscape in quads here. This is the northeast corner of the landscape plan. Landscape sheet. This is the southwest corner, and then this is the southeast corner. The proposed plan includes streetscape, landscape, and pedestrian enhancements along each right-of-way and within the development. There's a civic open space plan I'm going to show you as well. It shows that in this case, you got the 206 total trees provided, 95 of them are non-native, and the native is 111, which will be a majority. As you can see, we emphasize the use of native vegetation because it lasts longer and it's a reflection of South Florida. The parking, as I said earlier, the parking proposed complies with the requirements of 2 spaces per unit and 1 space for 150 square feet of retail and restaurant uses. The total is 1,083, and you can see the breakdown as indicated. I hope I'm not going too fast, but I have a number of slides I want to show you. This is the vehicle and pedestrian circulation area, as I said earlier, here in the north and then here in the south. This is the open space areas. This is the open space along Avenue E, which is on the west side here. And the whole area in green is the open space area. And here is the civic open space in particular. This is the second parcel that's being described here. This area is set aside for civic open space and green space by the indication that you have here.
Mr. Kurt Thompson, how many additional slides do you have?
I'm sorry?
How many additional slides do you have?
I'm going to speed this up, Madam Chair. I hear what you're saying.
Let me do something. Do you need any more information?
Yeah, Madam Chair, we already went through this
Yes,
project a couple of
yes,
times.
yes.
Nothing's changed. I think we could vote on
I
this.
think so too.
I'm gonna move quickly here.
No, don't move at all. We good.
Okay.
Yeah, don't move. I'd also like to thank, is it Aquio? How do you say that?
Aqua O.
Aqua O. I was very impressed with, we've been following this project for a while, and we're very impressed with the submissions that you guys have been doing. In fact, some of the staff from the Development and Services Department said they were some of the best plans they've seen. So that is a feat, given Mr. Sermons does not allow any kind of anything. So you guys did a very good job in that. So that's a good thing. I don't think we have any questions for this group.
Madam Chair, we do have 2 public
Oh, I'm
comments.
sorry, that's right. Go ahead.
The first speaker is Chip Armstrong, followed by Fane Lozman.
Good evening.
If I on? because we are well past my bedtime with daylight savings time. My name is Chip Armstrong. I live at 4240 Delmore Court in Riviera Beach. And I'm going to speak in support of this resolution. It's going to be wonderful to have a beautiful building at the southern entrance to our city. We have a very capable developer who's making a significant investment into our city. Please move this forward so we can continue this rash of groundbreakings in our city of Riviera Beach. I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
The next speaker is Fane Lozman.
Fane Lozman. I echo the previous speaker. This is a magnificent building. I mean, anybody crazy enough to come in and build this building should be rewarded. As long as Mayor Lawson is the ceremonial mayor, how about giving around the keys to the city during the groundbreaking for somebody to have that vision, come in with hundreds of millions of dollars and clean up a corner that's been decrepit for what, the past 40, 50 years? Anybody who takes a look at that building should just say, wow, that's going to be in Riviera Beach. That's just amazing that they had the vision and money and ability to bring that project to bear, and I congratulate them on doing so.
Thank you, sir.
Madam Chair, to send the public comment on this item.
Any other questions? We're gonna call the question.
Councilperson,
Madam Clerk, go ahead.
did you want me to call the
Call the
vote?
question,
Oh,
yes, yes,
Councilperson Guyton?
Yes.
Chair Pro Tem Miller Anderson?
Yes.
Councilperson Spiritus?
Yes.
Chairperson Lanier?
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
Next item.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Madam Chair, point of personal privilege, I did want to expound on what you mentioned earlier. This project was submitted to the city in March of this year. And in just over 4 months, it was before the Planning and Zoning Board for its first public hearing. So I just want to make sure you know that your development services and review process works when we get quality submittals. The process is functioning well. So we do want to thank the development team for being thorough and submitting a quality product that met or exceeded all of your regulations that we reviewed. So thank you for allowing me.
Thank you for alerting me to that. It is very good because people say, oh, it takes so long, but people do it right. It does not take that long. So that's a good thing that we can maybe have them to give a master class in how you submit stuff to the city.
If they're willing to host a workshop.
So very good. Thank you.
Madam Chair, we are on item 11D, resolution number 88-25, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Riviera Beach, Palm Beach County, Florida, authorizing the city manager to execute partnership agreements with the Rapids Water Park and selected homeowners associations, acknowledging the purchase of general admission aquatic passes from neighboring municipalities to support the Swim on the Go initiative, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute interlocal agreements with other government entities if needed, authorizing the chief financial officer to make payments from the budgeted account, and providing an effective date. Madam Chair, we do not have public comment cards on this item. The acceptance of cards is closed.
Motion?
So move.
Second.
Go ahead, Mr. Casey.
Good evening, Chair, council members, Mayor. Casey Young, Parks and Recreation Director. This agenda item is to bring forth agreements with the Rapids Water Park, local HOAs, and also surrounding municipalities. This is the Swim on the Go initiative that I have presented to the public. We've had 2 community meetings to provide a relocation plan for Barracuda Bay in support of construction of the police headquarters on the current property. With that being said, if there are any questions, I can answer those. Oh, just to bring forth, so the HOAs included in this agreement are Mystic Woods, which is open to allowing our residents to participate in aquatic programs. Again, with the Rapids Water Parks, it's to provide the fun element for for continued aquatic services. And the municipalities that are supporting our program, the Swim on the Go initiative, include Palm Beach Gardens, City of West Palm Beach, Village of North Palm Beach, and Palm Beach County for Lake Lauderdale Pool and North County Pool. So again, this is to make sure that we continue to provide aquatic services as we transition into building a new aquatic facility in the city of Riviera Beach.
Did you say if we had any public comment cards?
Madam Chair, we do not have any public comment cards.
All right, any questions, comments from the board? Madam Chair?
Councilperson Guyton?
Madam Clerk?
Oh, Councilperson Guyton?
Yes.
Chair Pro Tem Millie Anderson?
Yes.
Councilperson Spiritus?
Yes.
That item passes with Chair Lanier out. Madam Chair, we are on item 11E, resolution number 89-25, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Riviera Beach, Palm Beach County, Florida, authorizing the city manager to request the Palm Beach County Board of County Commissioners, excuse me, to amend the Barracuda Bay interlocal agreement in order to allow the relocation of the Riviera Beach Aquatic Center to either Wells Recreation Complex or Dan Calloway Complex to support the construction of the Riviera Beach Police Headquarters. And that this rescinds Resolution 56-23, which previously authorized relocation to the sports complex at 600 West Blue Heron Boulevard. The city manager is hereby authorized to execute all necessary documents to facilitate the amendment to the Barracuda Bay interlocal agreement. Madam Chair, we don't have any public comment cards on this item. The acceptance of the cards is closed.
Chair.
Do we have a motion?
Chair. Oh, I'll make a motion.
Second, go ahead.
Mr. Manager, do you have a preference to whether it should be at Dan Calloway or whether it should be at Wells?
Madam Chair, if I may. When we had some of the Swim on the Go program, we heard a lot of remarks from the community that the community wants to have the discussion about relocating the aquatic center back to Dan Calloway, its original location. So what we're asking for is the ability to have some additional community charrettes and have discussion and bring back to the board what some options would be, looking at the Wells campus as Callaway. But I would say that that was probably the most overwhelming response that we heard from members of the community, is that looking to relocate the aquatics element back at Callaway, where it's been a long-standing pool in our community.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Madam Clerk?
We need.
We had one, Mr. Spiritus, motion, and I second.
Okay, thank you. Councilperson Guyton?
Yes.
Chair Pro Tem Millie Anderson?
Yes.
Councilperson Spiritus?
Yes.
The item passes with Chairperson Lanier out. The next item is item 11F, resolution number 156-25, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Riviera Beach, Palm Beach County, Florida, amending the job classifications lists by reclassifying and regrading certain classified and unclassified positions pursuant to the 2025-2026 fiscal budget and providing an effective date. Madam Chair, we don't have any public comment cards on this item. The acceptance of cards is closed.
Have a motion?
Second.
Mr. Evans?
Madam Chair and members of the board, if I can have Human Resources Director, Ms. Tennille DeCosta, to make this presentation.
Good morning, Honorable Mayor, Madam. I'm sorry, good evening. It's late. I'm sorry. Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Madam Chair, and Council. Tennille DeCosta, Director of Human Resources, and I'm bringing forth to you a couple of classifications that departments reviewed and said they need to retitle and change, and or the SEIU union had a meeting with HR and decided that some or positions do not belong in the union based on confidential, because it's confidential. The first one is the GIS CAD. We just retitled that to Special Projects Coordinator. It remains in SEIU, no change in salary, no change in title. The second one will be a Staff Assistant in Development Services and Public Works, changing it to Assistant to Director. The union abides that this is a confidential position and should not be in the union. Their current salary is at a grade 412. Minimum is $45,000, max is $73,000. The new grade is grade 124, minimum $71,000, max $107,620. and again removed from SEIU. I do want to remind that the board did approve this change November 6th of last year, Resolution 14424, changing the staff assistants to assistant to director. So this change was already done. The issue is Public Works. We changed her title, for example, but we could not change her salary because she was still in SEIU. Now SEIU agreed that it no longer should be in there, so we need to take that position out of SEIU. And then the final one is combination inspector. We changed that to plans examiner. It remains in SEIU. The grade went from a 421 to a 423. Current salary is 71,000 to 107,000. The new salary range is 75,000 to 122,000. So HR is requesting that the board approve.
Any questions in regards to this item?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
As I read through the qualifications for especially the assistant to the director, they have, the pay grade have gone up to from 40-something starting to 70-something starting with the high school diploma. Some of this is due to the confidentiality of their position. Some of it, not all. I read through their responsibilities. A lot of that coincide with what legislative aides do. And it is my opinion that the legislative aide should also be in that group.
I totally agree with you, Councilperson Guyton. I had this question in the agenda review, and as I was looking through the job description, it kind of threw me because we have the job description says high school diploma, which is nothing wrong with that, but we have a couple of, maybe three of our legislative aides that have college degrees. And so we're going to look at, comparable positions, pay equity, and parity among the staff. I would definitely want to have the legislative aides and the mayor's chief of staff included in that same pay raise as the assistant to the director position. And even though we talk about confidentiality, which much more confidential in terms of dealing with council people because of sunshine laws and that kind of thing. So I definitely want to make sure, and two, you need to look at the titles of the legislative aides to accurately reflect the level of responsibility that they have to council people. I think that what has happened is, we make these changes, but then we leave out the people who most help us and the staff in regards to getting policy passed. So yeah, I definitely want that to be something that is effective immediately and that it takes approval upon our agreement tonight, and that you bring us back some updated and revised job descriptions so that we can make sure that there are all of them on the same page.
Madam Chair.
Hold on. So make sure that it includes the legislative aides and the chief of staff. And then we can look at those titles, those responsibilities, so that everybody is on the same comparable pay scale. Mr. Evans, you had something.
Yes, Madam Chair. It would be staff's recommendation, and I'm trying to bring up the resolution in and of itself, is maybe to insert a whereas provision that would recognize that the legislative aides would be treated as the assistant to the directors and that they would be a classification group. And so if that group ever changes, that they in fact would be recognized as that particular group, because in 5, 10, 15 years from now, you don't want to have a situation where that ends up being left out of the resolution. So it would be, if it's the pleasure of the board to consider that, it would be my recommendation to provide for a section in the resolution that incorporates how legislative aides are to be recognized with the same group as the assistant to the directors from this point forward.
Councilman Guyton, could you add that?
Yes, I would add that language into my motion.
Second.
That's a second. Any other questions about this item? Are we clear about where you're going with this?
Yes, I do have a question, Madam Chair, and
Go
I don't know
ahead.
if it's to Mr. Evans or to you, Madam Chair. Would it be easier to call them assistants to the council? So you can deviate, assistant to director who are staff and then assistant to the council?
We can look at those
Okay.
titles. I mean, I don't want to lock it in tonight. I want to look at, district chief of staff. We can do all kinds of, play on words, but we want to make sure it accurately reflects their position.
Madam Chair?
So yes, go ahead, sir.
Yes, I was agreeing with Mr. Cost on this because I think it should be assistant to the council. I agree, by the way, I concur with you and with Councilman Guyton with respect to the administrative aides being included in this category, but I just think it should be an assistant to the city council because it'll be very confusing because who's the director?
Right.
That would be confusing. So if Councilman Guyton would amend his motion to include, to take it from assistant director to assistant to the council.
How about this? Because we all have districts. It could be the district chief of staff, which means that each of us have districts anyway. Because they have the chief of staff to the mayor, we would have the district chief of staff to the council.
Madam Chair. I understand what you're saying. I think we're doing a little too much. I think if we just move this forward
All right,
and move on to the next item,
Yeah,
I would accept Councilman Spirit's suggestion about assistant to the council, and let's take a vote.
All right, very good.
And I second the amendment.
Excellent. Madam Clerk?
Councilperson Guyton? Chair Pro Tem Miller Anderson?
Yes.
I know.
Councilperson Spiritus?
Yes.
Chairperson Lanier?
Yes.
That's a unanimous vote.
All right, so make sure that these changes are effective immediately. Thank you. Next item.
Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead, sir.
I'm asking the question out of left field.
Oh, my goodness.
So don't kill me. Those non-union employees that only got 4% with our economic climate, I wanted to know if we would be able to readdress that.
I think that is something that can come back on an agenda item that we can address as a board. I don't think we can do it tonight, but we can bring it back as an item.
If it's approved, then it would have to be an amendment to the budget.
Mr. Evans?
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, that item would probably be an amendment.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
Madam
very good.
Chair. Yes, I would like to do that sooner rather than later.
All right, very good. Mr. Evans, you understand that item?
Madam Chair, I'll repeat it in confirmation of direction.
Next item, Madam Clerk.
Madam Chair, we are on item 12, discussion and deliberation. Item 12A, discussion of an alternative flexible work schedule policy.
Mr. Evans.
Madam Chair and members of the board, if I can have the Director of Human Resources, Ms. DeCosta, to make this presentation.
Good evening again. Tennille DeCosta, Director of HR. Hello, Honorable Mayor and Madam Chair and Commission Council. As you're aware, Mr. Evans was directed or asked to bring a policy for alternative flexible work schedule. We drafted a policy, created a form, and this is just a discussion item to get some direction. I do want to point out Mr. Evans first staff did reach out to other municipalities to see if they have an actual written policy. Majority of them don't. There's one municipality who does, and that's the city of Boynton Beach. Mr. Evans also did an internal survey with his department heads and gave 3 options. He asked the question, do you want to adopt a flex work policy? Number 1. Number 2, leave the current practice in place. And number 3, acknowledge current practice without formal policy. 57% of the employees asked to leave the current practice in place, meaning if I need to go to the doctor, I don't know, in the morning and I'm at commission until 9, 10 o'clock at night, he doesn't hold that against me. I give him a call, whether it annoys him or not, and he'll say yes. Right, Sam? And we're just here for discussion and direction.
Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead, sir.
I read through this policy and, like I just said to you, I think it's doing too much. All I asked when I suggested this was if the director instructs an employee to work beyond 40 hours, give them that time, flex time, within a certain period of time. They can't wait for 2 months to use it, within a month or so, and keep it moving. What has come to us is it comes from the employee to the director, to the human resources, to a city assistant manager, and then to the city manager. That's doing too much. All I wanted was the employees to be treated fairly and don't have a lot of bureaucratic red tape that they have to go through. I mean, and I'm not even sure why the city manager has to approve it. It is the directors that understand their department and their people. And if there's a problem that needs to rise to his level, the director can do that. But my position is, if we got directors, we should have the city manager should have the confidence, trust, and respect that they will make the right decisions for their departments that they work with every day. That's all this going through director, human resource, assistant manager, and then the city manager has to sign off on it. That's doing too much. So my suggestion is it's in the director's hand unless the problem rises beyond what they have the authority to deal with. Then it goes to the city manager.
So you're saying that if we have Ms. Tennille and she wants to give her staff flex time because they were here till midnight, that she can do it without going to the city manager?
Absolutely.
Is that not how it is now?
Huh?
That's not how it is now?
Not to my knowledge. I think, Ms. Dennis, do you have to approve any time that's...
Madam Chair?
Yeah, go ahead.
No. The department directors, we have, department director meetings. We have certain agenda reviews. I don't tell the department directors what time to come to work, what time to leave, those types of things. They have flexibility and autonomy. There's an honor system that we expect them to work 40 hours plus as leadership. But as it relates to employees in their department that are not hourly employees, because you can't treat union employees differently, the department directors have the flexibility to say, okay, Jonathan, you work till 9 o'clock. You can come in at noontime on Friday. They have that flexibility and that autonomy right now.
Okay, good question. Well, good point. Follow-up question.
Okay.
Well, why in your policy that you have all of this bureaucratic, I don't want to say BS, but for them to have to go through the department director, the human resources, the city manager, and then you have to sign on it prior to them taking it. That's in your policy.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
So we were asked to look at and possibly construct the policy. And so that is to ensure that the policy applications are done in a way that HR is involved in the process to make sure that there's no ambiguity and confusion. The other side of it is if you adopt what is a flex time policy and it's bankable, you have to now have department directors on schedule, because if you don't have them on the schedule, you may have a situation where I've worked 3 15-hour days. I'm not coming in Thursday and Friday, and that's my schedule in perpetuity. So we looked at, and even the one organization that actually has a flexible work schedule, they have an alternative work schedule. They work 4 10-hour days, and they're either off on Friday or Monday and the like. So the practice that we have now is department directors manage their schedule. They understand what our set meetings are. If they're, participate, some of the meetings are remote, they participate remote. There's not a department director that you can ask in the organization that I tell them, what time are you going to be at work and what time is your office hours? So they do have that flexibility now.
Madam
think-
Chair, I have one
Hold on one
follow-up
second.
question.
I think, Commissioner Guy, you were talking about the director's staff, weren't you not?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is what I think, that's the question, is that how is it that the staff of a director wanted to give their employee flex time would have to come to you?
Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
if we codified it in an actual policy, we have to make sure that there's an application or rule across the board, because one department director can treat flex time different than another department director. It could be happening right now, but the reality, if we're going to do a policy, we have to have what is in fact a level playing field. Right now, we ask the department directors to utilize discretion and to make sure that if people are working, odd hours, that they do have the flexibility to make sure that, we're not taking advantage of an employee that's willing to work late into the evening to get the job done.
Madam Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
There were 19 people that participated in the survey. What's the total? Is that the total amount of people that we have?
No, it was,
I'm sorry, through the chair, Madam Chair.
yes, go ahead.
Mr. Evans, can you correct me? I think it was all your department heads, city attorney's office, your ACMs, and that's about it?
I believe so.
Okay. But basically, the ones that did participate wanted to keep it just as is. Okay. So then we don't need a policy then if it's working.
Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
if the department head decides that they're gonna have their employee at the, council meeting, and then they decide, no, we can't spare you, you're not gonna be able to take your time, that's unacceptable with me.
But this, so you're saying that if an employee was here to midnight and then they're asked their director, hey, I was there till midnight, can I come in at 9 o'clock in the morning instead of 8 or 7 or whatever the case may be, that what? I think that's what they do, don't they?
Well, I'm not sure, I just want it clear that it's not an option for them to get their time.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want them to be denied. They need to understand that when I work and my director instruct me to be there, now they can't volunteer to go and work 6 hours and then say that I'm not coming in. That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm talking about if they are instructed to be somewhere and it's over 40 hours, and it may not be the next day, it may be the day after. I understand sometimes you have to work it to cover the section, but I am saying right now, there's flexibility for the director, the city manager to say, no, you can't take that time.
Madam
And
Chair.
that's what I don't want.
Madam Chair, if I-
They can also get overtime, but go ahead.
Sir, if they're salaried employees, they're not going to receive overtime. But in your tier 1 and tier 2 employees, which are your management level employees, they do receive an additional. They get sick, vacation, and then tier 1 gets 15 days of personal option time, and then tier 2 employees get an additional 10 days of personal option time. That's a benefit that's provided to the tier 1 and tier 2 employees that are not provided to your other general employees, because it recognizes that there's going to be some weeks where you may have to work 50 hours and you may not be able to flex out in that week, but you are provided additional PTO time that carries over. It doesn't have cash value, but it carries over in additional years. So I do want to recognize that October 1st, they get and it's not based on an accrual, they get a lump sum of that time added to their payroll accruals every October. So it's 15 and 10, plus they still accrue their sick and vacation time at the normal level. And they have the flexibility to, and if there's a situation, the council person got in where there's an abuse of a situation where an employee is asked to stay out, and they need to go over to HR and communicate that I'm working these hours consistently and not being eligible to flex out or not being recognized to say, okay, we either need another person or we need to look at, a job audit to find out if we're compensating that person fairly and equitably. So there is some redress or recourse if an employee does feel aggrieved that they're being taken advantage of.
Sure.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with Councilmember Miller Anderson. I think that we should just leave it the way it is right now. I think that the staff clearly voted that they're not unhappy with the way it's going right now. The city manager does have the final say no matter what, because he is the chief executive officer of this city. And if he feels that his department heads are doing the right thing and the work is being done, I think that we should just leave it the way it is.
Okay,
But Madam Chair, if I may,
yes, go ahead.
I will put out an email and communication to department directors that recognize that if there's situations where an employee is working hours, that we need to recognize and provide them the flexibility of a later start time so I will reaffirm that to the department directors in writing and to that group, that tier 1 and tier 2 group that are your exempt employees. And so I'll make sure that, it's abundantly clear to persons that we can't take advantage of that situation.
All right, very good. So the majority agrees that we'll leave it as it is.
With the email going out.
Yes. The email saying what?
What he just explained.
Madam Chair, I'll recognize that, that the city does recognize that an employee in these particular categories may be asked to work over 40 hours, and that the department director needs to acknowledge that and recognize that flexibility as a start time or end time for their day should be provided for in that payroll period. So if I work 50 hours on Monday through Thursday, there shouldn't be a situation where the department director could be able to say, you know what, Jonathan, go home at noontime because you've been here the entire week you've got 47 hours in, just go ahead at noontime, go ahead and go home for the rest of the day. And that won't be docked off of what that time is.
Okay.
Chair, if I may.
Yes, go
It's
ahead.
just like Fright Night. Staff was here until, 9:30, 10 o'clock, working, decorating for the Fright Night event, which was amazing. So I told my staff that, you can go home early during the week one day because how hard they work and how late they work. And that's what usually all the department heads are doing.
Thank you.
With
Excellent.
the acknowledgement that the public service is not compromised. So
Right.
you still have to maintain operations.
Yes, thank you. You can send us a copy of that email. Madam Clerk, 12C.
Item 12C, resolution number 159-25, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Riviera Beach, Palm Beach County, Florida, approving and authorizing the City of Riviera Beach to accept monetary and in-kind donations specifically for the Hurricane Melissa relief efforts, authorizing the Chief Financial Officer to make payment of monetary donations collected from donors to a designated charitable organization, and providing an effective date. Madam Chair, I don't have any public comment cards. The acceptance of cards is closed.
So moved. Second. Mr. Evans.
Madam Chair and members of the board, this resolution was requested by the Office of the Mayor to facilitate relief efforts for the Caribbean nations that were impacted as a result of Hurricane Melissa. In the resolution, there is a whereas provision that says staff recommends all monetary and in-kind donations be collected by the City of Riviera Beach are delivered to the Government of Jamaica Hurricane Melissa Relief Fund and any agencies authorized to collect on behalf of the Government of Jamaica. One of the things that we wanted the ASTRO board to do is to amend that particular whereas provision that recognized that we would be collecting funds and goods for nations that were impacted as a result of Hurricane Melissa, but not designated to the Government of Jamaica. The reason that we're saying that is because what we want to do is come back with you once we do collect the items before we distribute those items and talk to the Department of the State to make sure that the funding and the items that we are collecting go to the appropriate organization. So we need to do a little bit of research on our side to make sure that if we are accepting money, it is now considered public monies. And so we want to make sure, obviously with the Office of the Inspector General and the Department of State, that the monies are transferred in a way that's appropriate. So we will have more legislative action that is contemplated in the future. And then there is section 3, where in section 3 of the resolution, it also recognizes that the Hurricane and Melissa relief funds would go to the government of Jamaica. And so we're asking that we would in fact collect the hurricane relief funds and monies and items, and then we will come back before you all to then authorize the remittance of those particular items once we get clarity from some of the other government regulations. But we are moving forward to collect items, monetary items, as well as non-perishable items, and that's being facilitated through the Office of the Mayor. So we are going to be pushing out more communications as a result of that. And so, Mr. Mayor, I know this was your item, but I just wanted to talk about the 2 items in the resolution for clarity's sake.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Evans, and that was just a clear direction. Thank you to the staff for jumping on this aggressively, as we heard tonight, and we've seen that there's a dire, desperate need for the Caribbean nations that have been decimated and devastated by this hurricane. So taking in any resources and dollars that are coming in. We had a meeting with Congresswoman Lois Frankel's office last week, and she advised that she would be looking to see what dollars would be contributing, what dollars came in, and see if we could do a matching as well. So this resolution just allows for us to gather and collect funds while staff vets the nonprofits. And our biggest goal is just to make sure that the dollars are going directly into the country, not into just kind of top heavy or administrative fees, but actual organizations and nonprofits that will get it into the most rural areas of Jamaica that were decimated. And there were also other countries. So we'll be looking at just making sure we provide support. And last but not least, I'll be making comments. Walter, if you can get that flyer ready for next week's mission, to do a packing mission, which will be next Wednesday. I'll make that during my comments as well. But if we can get support from those colleagues to continue to collect funds and then also push this out to as many supporters as possible that would be willing to contribute to families of Jamaica. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, sir.
Madam Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
So this is just simply saying that we're going to be collecting it, and prior to it being distributed, it'll come back to us.
Madam Chair, if I may?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, to authorize the remittance of funds to whatever said organization, and even the surplus of any goods or materials that we collect as a city to disseminate that. So we will come back before you before we release anything.
Okay, thank you.
A motion to approve resolution 159-25. Did we?
Madam Chair, and if you can say as amended by the manager
As
too.
amended by the manager. So moved and second state the same?
I second it. I don't know who seconded it.
I moved it.
Oh, he got, this him?
I moved it.
Okay.
Yes, those stay the same.
Oh,
I
Okay.
mean, I'm fine, yeah,
Okay,
with the amendment.
question, go ahead.
Councilperson Guyton,
Yes.
Chair Pro Tem Miller Anderson,
Yes.
Councilperson Spiritus,
Yes.
Chairperson Lanier.
Yes.
That's a unanimous vote.
Before we go into the city council comments, we are at 9:48. You think we can get through these?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, very good.
Very good.
Confirmation of direction.
Yes, Madam Chair, this section of the agenda is to seek confirmation of direction from the city council on items that were previously mentioned. One of the items that came up concerning the street renaming on 13th Street, it was mentioned that about the possibility of recognizing Mr. Newcomb and Mr. Hester, and a situation that would facilitate looking to name the roadway or the stretch of roadway from Broadway into Marina Village as Newcomb, and then Hester would possibly be from what would be Broadway heading west all the way to Congress. One of the things I do want to inform the board about too is, and you can certainly change it in your policy, it requires the entire stretch of roadway. So we would need to bring an amendment to the policy if you are going to section off parts of the road that you would wish to name. So am I clear that the board wants me to bring back those 2 names and do the research associated with that? And Mr. Newcomb and Mr. Hester.
Got it. Yes.
Now, there was a suggestion about, and the mayor can chime in, about the street near Suncoast where he actually played at.
Right. And also, if we adding names, I would like to add Liz Wade because she was on the council for 12 years. And that is the street that she lives on.
I think, Mr. Hester grew up near Washington Elementary. So where are we at?
So, Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
So you would like for me to bring back and do some research on Miss Liz Wade and the possibility, I guess, 3 names on for 13th Street that would be researched, and then also see if there's a situation where Mr. Hester is amenable to the roadway that abuts Suncoast, and then amending the policy to bring that item back before the council for consideration. When will the board like to see that item back?
I think that before we answer that question, we have a meeting scheduled for the 17th, council meeting.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
if I may, I have some items on that I need clarity from the board on as
Okay.
well.
Because the reason why I asked that, it's the Wednesday, but we were gonna move it to that Monday, just like we did this one. But let me be clear too. We usually don't have meetings in December.
Madam Chair,
No, I'm talking about December because we're gonna need that 17th meeting to whatever you need to do, because there will be no meetings in December.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
You're required to have at least one meeting in December. Yeah, what we do is we usually do your first meeting in December, and then we don't bring you back till January. So that's kind of what your recess
Okay.
is.
So
So
you want to keep the 17th meeting, staff? I mean, council? Okay, well, good. We will have the 17th. We will have the meeting on the 1st of December.
So you have the 17th. The discussion that we had with the board was to set City Hall to come back before you on the 17th with the presentations from the
Oh, I
group.
see. So it's just a presentation.
And you have a couple of your second reading ordinances, no changes on second reading. So we're going to try to keep the agenda really light
Oh, no.
on the 17th. And you know, Madam Chair, we'll share that with you
Let
before
us
we.
be clear about what is going to be on the 17th.
I will be able to, if you give me till tomorrow afternoon, I can provide you kind of I'll share with the 17th agenda looks like.
It should look like City Hall. It should look like the second.
Well,
reading
I
of the
want to list.
ordinances.
I want to list out what the items are so you can see them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Those are the presentations?
Those are the presentations from the two groups. Yes, that is correct. And then I know there was correspondence that was going back and forth to look at the meeting on the 24th when I was out. But yeah, we would say that keep the 17th meeting because we've already I think provided notice to those two groups that they are to present to the board on the 17th. So we're still good for the November 17th meeting. Light agenda. Keep it really City Hall and what would be second and final readings of the ordinances that you heard this evening.
Okay.
Okay.
What else you have?
Bringing back for consideration the additional 2% increase for non-rep employees.
Yes.
Okay.
Does the board agree with that? I'm asking the board, is there a majority that agrees with this?
We're considering, we gave them 4. We're considering the other 2% that was suggested because of the economic trying times.
Okay.
Chair,
Yes, go ahead, sir.
I'm not 100% for that right now.
Yeah. I can't say that either. Yeah, but
Okay.
Everybody should.
All right.
I hear you. I do. I hear you. I and Dr. Spears are not in agreement
Okay.
about bringing back 2%.
He said no.
Yeah, he said no.
Okay, I'm fine.
All right, very good. No, that's not coming back. Go ahead.
Okay. That our legislative aids by adoption of the resolution are brought up to 71,000 and are grouped with what are the assistant to the directors in that job classification and for that to take effect immediately.
I'm not. I'm joking.
bringing back the modification to the resolution concerning the Hurricane Melissa relief activities once we get clarity from the Department of State and the Office of the Inspector General as it relates to the remittance of funding, and that will come back to you all before we authorize.
Oh, Madam Chair, there was one item that I would like for you all to consider.
Want to consider it? I need a motion to extend this meeting.
Just for 10 minutes.
So moved.
Make the motion. Make the motion.
Second. Okay. On a serious note, the
Hold on. That's clear about, you got to vote on the fact that we're going to extend this meeting.
oh, okay,
Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
Madam Clerk.
Councilperson Guyton,
Yes.
Chair Pro Tem Miller Anderson, Councilperson Spiritus,
Yes.
Chairperson Lanier.
No.
Okay.
That fails.
Okay, wait, okay, 2 minutes. You got 5 minutes.
I got like two more.
Go.
I have like 6 minutes worth of it. And it died. This meeting adjourns in 4 minutes, guys. Y'all better figure it out. And
Otherwise, I need to get to
flex time email to the department directors and managers of that tier 1 group. And sending you a copy or copying you on the email that I send to department directors acknowledging the flex time and the schedule for the tier 1 and tier 2 employees. And that concludes the confirmation of direction section. Madam Chair, and I can roll right into discussions from the city manager. I do want to recognize the outstanding work of all the departments to make the Halloween Fright Night a success. It was an outstanding event, and certainly I want to call out 2 particular individuals that put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into the event, and that's our special events manager, Miss Eladia Franks Edwards, who worked really hard, and the assistant city manager, Miss Deirdre Jacobs, that worked tirelessly to help coordinate an event. And I think that probably was the largest crowd that we had in the park ever. So exceptional job, and they did a great job, and was a safe event. The splash pad is now refurbished and reopened, so we're excited about that. But kudos to all the staff that participated. But those 2 ladies did put a lot of time, energy, and effort into that outstanding event. So congratulations to them and to the city. That concludes my comments.
Madam
No comments. Thank you.
Dr. Spiritus.
Well, my heart goes out to everyone in Jamaica and the Caribbean islands that got hit by the hurricane. I know how difficult that must be. And hopefully we can all come together and help them out. With respect to Singer Island, on Thursday, there'll be an event here with respect to zoning in the CRA district, the IHCPUD district. That'll be discussed by the COSI organization. That's the Community Officers Association of Singer Island. So please come out and hear what's going on. It's very important. Nothing else, Madam Chair.
Councilman Guyton.
Yes, the Atlanta mayor put a pause on water water turn-offs because of the SNAP benefits. People may have to pay their bills for them, and I think we should consider that for the month of November. For
Yeah, I've seen other mayors in cities that have extended it to January 31st, I think.
Yeah.
So we can have that as something that we can consider.
That's all I had.
Madam Chair and members of the board, we'll bring that back for y'all, but we won't cut off anyone until we bring that back. Yeah.
Okay, that's all I have.
Mayor, you got 30 seconds.
I need about 4 minutes, Madam Chair. Does that work?
Hey, I don't know what you're gonna do. I got the gavel.
Just 5 minutes, Madam Chair. I just want to thank you guys for the support of this relief effort. One thing though, do we have an update on the 13th Street? I know we talked about 13th Street and coming back with that, but Devin Hester actually grew up on 13th Street. His grandmother lived on Avenue T. So we just want to make sure we're clear when we bring that back. We can have that discussion at a later date. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, very good. All right, very good.
We made it. We made it. It's not.